through the glass into a new life. 'Cause it's me and the slasher flame. Yeah, it's me and the slasher flame. Yeah, it's me and the slasher flame. And I'm gonna be the final girl. 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 We're never gonna hear that sound again. The one that was our best friend. The television died in our arms. The animation generation. No more Saturday morning cartoons. No more bunny rabbits. Dark and Looney Tunes. No more. We're a little too soon. No more Saturday morning cartoons. My childhood went down the drain, and the remote went with it. The television died in our arms. The animation generation. No more Saturday morning cartoons. No more bunny rabbits. Dark and Looney Tune. No more. We're a little too
Hey everybody, we'll be kicking this off in just a minute. Just grabbing some coffee, settling in, get everything set up. We're going over a brand new Outgunned. I forgot to see this even dropping. I'm actually pretty happy with it though. I love me some superhero stuff. But as you know, I do think it's the most difficult thing to run. And today we're going to see if this game solves that problem.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the horror show. Fingernails on the keyboard. Leave your heart at the door. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the final show. Fingernails on the keyboard. Leave your heart at the First comes death, then comes tears, then comes dread, then comes fear, then comes you think you know, but you don't. It ain't a movie, it's the real thing. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the horror show. Fingernails on the keyboard. Leave your heart at the door. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the final show. Fingernails on the keyboard. Leave your heart at the door. The final horror show. Stay fucking running, creeps. I was sitting in my basement, making funny faces, talking to a white TV. Static on the screen, and then I felt it, the static coming through me, and then I heard it. I heard the dead speaking to me. They said the dead will rise. The ghost cry! Welcome to motherfucking corpse! It's the fusion of dark and
What's up, everybody? Got the new shirt. So the new tank I like it, right? It's great. But this thing is so long. Like, this is my hint. I feel like it's longer than normal. I love the color. The print turned out really good. Like, really good. It's that new flex print. So pretty happy with that, but I don't know about the length. I got an XL, which is my normal size. It seems a little longer than normal. Maybe I'm just crazy. Send it over to Atlee, take a look. Maybe I'm just crazy. But anyway, it's CT Live Day. I'm going to be going over Outgunned today. A little update on the Kickstarter and where we are. I wanted to show off a medieval fantasy generator. Excuse me. That I use for making cities. It's like my rough template, and you can really manipulate it. And then I go through and do my own version of it once I have everything in place for rapid prototyping. Oh, I got a new pen. My Kaweco Moon came in. So it's got like a shiny moon style to it. Really small. Like, size-wise. It's tiny. And it's an unscrewable cap. I bought the filler for it. It looks tiny, but when you post it, it's pretty good size. I like the weight on it. I was hoping for a different plastic than this, but I don't hate it. I do like how compact it is. Like, this is small. Like, this is a normal pen. Like, in size differences. So, pretty happy with that. I got that in today. Or yesterday. Shirt. I'm busy as shit. If you're in the Discord, you probably noticed a whole Wednesday post that went up for Wretched Wednesdays. I started a new mini arc. Our first game was yesterday. Same group, new arc. We're doing it in the city of Slate. I can't stop yawning today. We're doing it in the city of Slate. I've really enjoyed making another city out. That's part of the reason the medieval fantasy generator we're going to talk about. What else did I do? I had some other notes here. Bunch of art. I can probably show you some art too. Let me pop these into my... I can just show you the Canva for the other one. I'll put Canva up. So I had to do a bunch of cards. When we were doing these events, we did a gala in March. And then we did another one for Midwest Gaming Classic, the big arcade classic that's out here in Milwaukee. And for Dragon Sandbox, we do this big event where like the next level people come to a bunch of games, get to play. I currently have a load of bleach on my head. I mean, you do it to yourself. That's really not my fault. So here, let me just take you over. We're going to go right at the table. I just want to show you some stuff. Not this one. So these are the quest cards we did a long time ago. These have been kind of like our running quest cards for Dragon Sandbox. These are like the host cards that people get for like quests. And then we did the gala. So let me scroll past all these. This was our gala. This is like my template sheets, the fonts I was picking through. I was doing some quick logo design. Went with this one. Had like an Art Deco style for everything, right? And these were the sheets we did. And they worked really well. Really, really well. A blonde is your true form of blonde serving hands? Is that what you're doing? You're making your true form blonde? So, and then I was like, I want to do this again because like these turned out so well for everything. I really kind of liked the concept of this because it lets the GMs just have some 4x6 cards to carry around instead of like 8.5 by 11 sheets. So I did a new one and I'm testing our trade dress, which I'm pretty happy with this color scheme. But then I realized afterwards, tell me if this color green and that like two-tone, like this here in the background, doesn't look like a dollar bill. It wasn't on purpose, but I kind of adore it. It feels classic. Oh, you're already blonde. That makes so much more sense now. So we did like, here's your clues and secrets so they can figure out what things are. Oops. Our wild magic tables. And we did 2 wild magic tables. We did magic. And then we did combat saves and skills anytime we rolled a 1 or 20. And then I made the convergence engine. This was the card, the front and back for it. Really dangerous. Our animated knights, right, with passive perception. I like this orange a lot as well. I think these are the 2 colors we're going to go with. Environmental table, the stat sheet, and then you can see all the art assets I've been building out to do our trade dress. This one is not. This one is downloaded from an asset pack, but I've been building all these out. And you can just see a lot of duplicate shapes and drawings that I'm doing and just emboss and manipulate. So pretty fun. Pretty fun. I'm really happy with it. And then, and we gave them a stat sheet for the monsters they can try. So this turned out really well. Then we needed our artwork. So I was doing rough sketches. This was like a quick 5-minute sketch. Just sending over to the other GM I was working with for like, is this the concept that we want? And like, yeah. And I used my Surface, a pen, and did Clip Studio, which, you know, again, thanks to Todd for finding Clip Studio. It's like the best drawing program to date. It's not made for like background removal and like that. It's made for like truly doing artwork. And then the final version I built out was this, and this is with texture brushes. The background is a cloud brush, like a couple. You can kind of see the repeated tones of the cloud brush in some spots, but it was just to show people where things are. I mean, it's the same shape. Like it came across. I slightly increased the size, but it's the same peaks. Really bright colors for the magic. I wanted like tethers for this. You know what I mean? To like float this citadel, and that centerpiece of the citadel spins inside of it. So it was just fun. I got to do this. I haven't done a map like this in a little while. Finished that up. So that was kind of like the beginning of our event, which went really well. Yeah, it turned out really well. This is a floating area in Valrum, and then this island, or this floating landmass, split into 3, and one like fell. It turned out really cool. We had a really fun time with this. I ran the study. Somebody else ran the Underdark area. Somebody else ran the base of the engine. It was fun, though. I had a good time. What is this? Your bait? What are you prepping? I'm prepping a pit droid for primer and paint. Doesn't smell near as bad. I love pit droids, dude. They hold like a special place. Have you been watching, Kyle, the new Darth Maul? The droid on the new Darth Maul is fire. See if I can find an image of it. Darth Maul, Shadow Lord, droid. He's got a spy bot. Yeah, spy bot. It is today. I'm going to watch it right after this. Here, I got it. This is the new droid. Look at that guy. I wish there was a better art piece for him. There he is. Really dig him. Yeah, there he is. The new evil baby. What? Look at him. Look at him. I know the final's on May 4th. God, this site never once. Polygon has become such an ad-heavy piece that like you can't do anything anymore on it. And it freezes Chrome all the time. Chrome is such a bitch. Look at him. I mean, he's not this guy. He's not this little bastard. He's not Chopper. But he's still cool. He's still decent. He's not Chopper. He's still decent. I mean, I got 3 little choppers. I got that chopper. I have this little cute one. I really need a dust. Little dude. And I got one when I visited all my friends in Cal. I got this wind up one. And he makes noise. Hold on. But he's still alive. Oh, the battery might be dead on him. He usually goes. I like Chopper. But yeah. Anyways, so that's what I did. I prepped all that stuff this week. I've been super busy. Now I am working on rebuilding the website. I just started that. I think that's it. Website, Atlantia, we're off next week. So I'll be doing everything else. Isn't that one of the first droids to speak English? Oh, the spy droid? I think it is. I think it's the first like vocabulary to speak English and not binary. And Maul looks so good. Dude, the new Darth Maul series looks fucking awesome. Like, it actually looks really good. I really like it. Close these out real quick. So then we have this. We're waiting for this pledge to close. Like, once Kickstarter clears, we'll put out the late pledges. So that's done. We did do an update. I just like updating people here. New projects, they're staff picks of new series. And I didn't know this existed until Rick said it. I love me some anime. But I really loved Lotus Wars. And there's a new Season 1 Kickstarter promo. So let me pause the music.
What it would be like to try and make your own animated series by yourself? I would think it would go a little something.
Pull it over here.
Yourself? I would think it would go a little something like this.
It is a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot. So,
I love the art.
my name is Ray Kaufman. Never worked on anything you've ever seen. I'm just an independent guy out here swimming around in the ocean by himself. But I've got a killer story. We got a killer team on tap. It's called Aurora. A lot of you have probably backed the books in the past. We have started making an animated series. I know that sounds crazy, right?
It's real close to home.
With the animation industry being where it's at. But that's the perfect time to do it. I am really heavily inspired by classic 90s dark fantasy anime and Lord of the Rings and things like that. So you throw all those things into a blender, you get this. And I'm really excited to bring it to life with the talented crew and cast that we have.
My name is Steve Bloom. I play Loam in Aurora.
Hi, I'm Johnny Youngbosch, and I will be providing the voice of Renzia in Aurora.
Hey, Michelle Ruff. I am playing a character in Aurora. Her name is Endra.
Hey, how you doing? My name is John Bentley. I'm letting you know that I am doing this new character named Reese and a project named Aurora.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Austin Lee Matthews. I'm also the voice of Nesden in Aurora.
In 2021, I started the process of doing an animated.
The animation's really good.
Over the past year, that pilot has turned into a 1-hour OVA special, original video animation. For those of you that don't know, this is how a lot of projects back in the day got greenlit when they wanted to test it out. Animators wanted to try a new idea, that kind of thing. Bring it back. So now the OVA has turned into, well, this is an hour-long OVA. What would it take to make a full 10-episode season? This is what it would take. The full length of this Kickstarter, if it meets all of its goals past the original funding, we'll be able to fund a full 10-episode season of Aurora. If we hit the base goal, which is awesome, we're looking at like a 4-episode Netflix kind of season. But we want to do 10 episodes. We hope we get there.
That'd be cool.
4 episodes will be a full
So Rick,
season as well.
Rick met this gentleman at one of the cons. So that was one of the staff picks. Wander Universe is coming out. Paragon's Kickstarter. I haven't looked at this yet. I think it's City of Heroes. All right. City of Heroes Styles. The Supes. So anyway, he put this together, posted it up. So I was like, I should at least look at it. But this I was really interested in. So we're going to be having late pledges open soon. I promise I'll tell everybody when the late pledges open. I just haven't had a chance yet. But today we're going to go over Outgunned. We'll talk about this. But I wanted to show you guys this first. If none of you have ever used this site, hold on here. So there is an entire, let me find it. Pro Arcana. I think that's the name of the site. What is it called? I think it's Pro Arcana. Hold on here. I want to make sure I have the right site. I don't want to mislead you. Pro City Generator. For some reason, it's not pulling up on this one. There we go. This company. So this guy has made a really cool generator where it does realms, cities, villages, caves, dungeons, and dwellings. And I've been using it for Athantia because I like, it's all the gentleman's art. It puts it together and then it links them all. So if you make cities, it'll attach them to the realm. If you make villages, you can attach it into that as well. But the reason I like it is I like it for doing quick framework, like quickly understanding where I am in the process. And it allows me to make sure that I have everything where I want. I can label everything. And then I can go back and do my own art for it. So I did this for one of my maps for Athantia. And I was like, oh, this will be super easy for me to do. I could just use this, put it together, and go from there. So like, for example, you have a whole realm generator here, right? And there's like large, evil, wet. You can kind of put together what you want. This is an old generator. It's been around for a while. And it makes a fucking island. It makes an area. And then you can right click and you can like add town, apply, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And then you can export them as well. It's PNG, SVGs, and JSON files. But there's a whole bunch of different heading. I mean, anything you want for quick and easy realms, right? He has a breakdown for how he does it. How he does it. If we go back one, the city one's the one I use a lot of, but the village generator is also cool. It generates a village made from art pieces that he has. He keeps adding more to them. And then you can go to the village generator and you can do the same thing. You can be like, oh, I want to re-roll a village, and it'll re-roll it. I want to re-roll a village again. I like it. And then you can say, I want to do the parameters. I want it to be coastal. I want it to be an estuary. We'll go with estuary. Generate. Done. I have an estuary version of it, right? Then you can increase the size. I want it to be large. Generate. So now you got a big, large village you can use. If you want it to be sparse, easy. Uncultivated, easy. So this generates all this really good map work, and it's all this gentleman's original art, and it's free. He generates it. It uses vector, basically like a vector point system, to put it together. But then you can export this and do your own art. This lets you like quickly prototype everything. Like I can be like, man, I like this. Now I can go one deeper. So like, let's say I like this area. I can right click like this shoreline and you can go to your layers and you can spotlight. And you can like change the spotlight size of the village. You can change the light intensity. You can do the color, you do heart, you do all that stuff. So that's pretty cool, right? Nice. You can right click it. You can do style setting. You can change the colors of the grounds. Like if this is a desert, like some weird area, I can do this. If it's, and hit apply. And then now all the grass, we're in the Feywild. Pretty fun for that. Your houses, you can do your colors, you can color the roofs. They usually have a couple selections, like there's gable, there's hip. If you apply that, you'll see that change. You can do flat, which is gonna be really simple. Or you can do ruins if this is like an old city where everything's fucked up. Nothing crazy, but it's a good representation, right? And then, if I remember correctly, you can rename the village, you can pick the population, all that kind of stuff. Or you can say, I don't like this and make a new one. Now, if you hit Pro Arcana, you can go back to it. It takes us back to this page. They have the caves and glades. That's been around for a long time. A really long time. But you can right-click this, you do new map, you can rotate it. And move the map if you want it to be like this. Right? Like the entrance here. You can add tags, and you can say, I want it to be sealed. Let's say you can do sealed. Can I do typing here? There we go. And generate it. You can shift click to learn the effect. So if you shift hub, it'll tell you down here what it does. It says one central cavern, several smaller ones, right? Let's say I want it flooded. Now it's flooded. Or like the entrance one, I think is probably one of my favorites because it's the entrance to a big cave. Or connected. And you can keep adding them in. Right? And if you don't like one of them, you can get rid of the flooded. And then hit generate and it'll get rid of it. And then a lot of his stuff, after you've done that, you can right click. You add tags. You can decide what grid you want. You can customize it. You can do the shape. You can do geometry. So irregularity. And you could do the business. The bumpiness of it. And you do the roughness. And hit reset. You know, whatever. That all changes things as well. And then you can display doors if you want doors in here. I'm giving you all your doors for the Wailing Caverns, right? You can do a glade view, which is an outdoor dungeon instead, which is new. He just added this, which I really like. Because sometimes you're doing like a dungeon crawl outside, but you can go back to water. You can re-roll it if you want more water. Just giving you a nice random thing. Then you can display everything you want, and then style again. You can pick colors for your trees, your water, your shadows, your miscellaneous. Like if you want the stroke to be higher, you can put it on stroke 3, and you'll get a thicker brush stroke if you really want to separate stuff. This is just nice, especially for me doing paid GMing all the time. This is a great way to get things together quickly. Now, with that said, go back to Pro Arcana again. He's got dungeons, glades, all that stuff. And then the dwellings. This is how I made the house for Season of the Cult. And it's pretty cool. So you have the inside view, and then you have this view for the outside, and then you can see that this has got a ground floor and a roof. But if we right click here, we can do a new house, and we can go to parameters. No, not parameters, sorry, wrong thing. It's over here. Here we can do it. You can say elevation, that shows you what it is, and you'll be like, I want it to be dark, or I want it to be fortified, which is the castle style. And then you can do blueprint where you can change the shape of the building. So like you could do something like this, right? And then you can go in here and you can do box, which just makes a box, and you can then draw however you want it to be. Right? So like, let's say we wanted something like this, where you enter in, which is cool. Yeah, right, Nick? I love it. I love it. It's great for me, it's great for like rapid prototyping. And now you have, you know, this piece you can do. So I love that you can draw this out. You can change all the things. You can export it. You can do your floor plans. You can change a whole bunch of stuff. You can pick how many floors there are. So now you can see this is lower, side, top. Love it. Love it. It's one of my favorite things. Like, I really do like this a lot. And if I remember, you could do new house. I thought there was a way to do how many floors you want. Oh, here it is. So you can pick your rooms. Like, you can make them Gothic. You can pick your walls, castle. And you can do layers. And you can hide things and add things and roofs and all that kind of crap. And then I thought, in style, is it? No. Somewhere you can add how many floors you want. I don't remember where it is now. I knew it when I was fucking around. Is it here? Oh, there's an advanced export too, where you're going to export each layer in each level. So that was cool. But yeah, it's awesome. It's such a well-made program. So that's the stuff that I wanted to show you. Nah, I like some of the other ones too. Like parameters, I know there's a way for how many floors. I just don't remember how. Oh, here it is. So you like do 6 floors and make generate. Now check this out. It does all the floors. And you can relabel all this stuff too. Right? And then when you go to the side, it gives you the full layout of the building. I fucking love it. It's great. So we go back again one more time. The one that I think people would like the most is this. So it's got directional control over whatever the city walls are. This is, I think, the first thing he built. Warp tools for change shape to generate city. Procedurally generated district names. Integration with Azure's fantasy map generator. Integrated with dwellings. PNG, SMG, and JSON export. Plans to improve water, islands, ponds, and all that kind of stuff. But the one I made for the city I'm doing for this game, if I zoom out, you can see what I built. And I shaped all this, redid the roads, moved things, added a bunch of labels. And you can right-click any of these, and you can add landmarks, re-roll geometry. I don't want to do any of that, though. And then you get a permanent link where you can come back and keep editing this, right? Set your colors. I obviously did my colors. If you zoom in, it's to the district. It's really, really well done. Like, I really, really like this. It's cool. I don't know. I think this is a great way for a GM to get their ideas together, be able to build it and move it around like a map tool. And then I take these and redraw. Like, I don't know. I think because I got rid of my port. Yeah. So since I got rid of Adobe, my portfolio site's gone. So I had to rebuild a new portfolio site. It's part of the reason I'm doing the new website. Part of the reason. But I have a map that I used this as a base and then went through and redid it afterwards. Thank God I don't want it. So I thought this was something, I wanted to share this tool. I thought this was something that like a lot of GMs could really use in their repertoire. I think it is a fantastic tool set. And your tool set looks like this. For those who want it, I'm just going to put it in chat as something amazing to be able to use. And I'll put it in chat for you all. Really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. So, that's that. I was talking to Allie about this tank top. Like, let me go to Printful really quick. Because I want her to know what this... So I got this one. I think the tank is just... I don't know. It's a really long tank top. Which I'm not the biggest fan of. But I love the material. Actually, like... I really like the material on this tank. But it seems so much longer than I expected. So much longer. So I want to pull up the print fit guidelines. I don't want the template. Because I'm curious if, like, maybe it's a new style and I'm just being dumb. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm being an idiot. I don't know. Because I don't know. I've never used this tank before. For print. Let's see here. I'm going to see if they have sizing. Like on this guy, it doesn't look like that. Like, hold on here. Look at this. Let me go back. That doesn't look nearly as long as it is on me. I don't have like a short torso or anything. Like that, does that look that long to you? You know what I'm saying? So here's a size chart. Yeah, I know, but we wear them in summer. So the measurements for an XL are, what is it, AB? What's the AB? A is the length. It is 30 inches, 30 and 3/4 inches. And then width is 23. And I'm telling you, I don't think this is 30 and 3. I don't have a fabric measuring tape up here right now. But this bends. So 18, 28, I guess it is. Man, it's still a long tank. Yes, I mean, they're not lying. It feels like 4 inches longer. No, that was 4 inches longer. Because that would be 14, 18. These are obviously rough measurements. You're talking. Do I actually have it up here? Hold on. I might actually have it. I do. I have an old one. Why do I have this, you ask? IKEA. I have it because of IKEA. Oh, it's torn though. Gotta be careful with it. I should tape this before I ruin it. I have a fabric one downstairs. But like my thing is, I don't want something that's this fucking long. Like it seems absurd to me. Like it feels absurd. All right. So, what size is this? Is this inches? This is inches. All right. This is. It says 32 inches. That is not 30. You know what I'm saying? That's not 30. It's nowhere near. Maybe if I wash it, it'll shrink some. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just used to shorter tank tops. I just don't remember these. None of my tanks are this long. And I have a lot of tank tops because I get hot and I work outside. But I like the print though. The print turned out really well. This new style, this flex printing is fucking dope. Indestructible. Indestructible. So, anyway, today we're going to look over Outgunned and their superhero game. I've been watching the new Daredevil, which is phenomenal if you're not watching it. The new trailer dropped for Punisher, which looks really good. I'm excited for that in May. And I was like, oh, you know what? I wouldn't mind looking over superhero games to see what another company can do. There's a lot of superhero games out there. I still think it's the hardest thing to run long term. I think superhero games are really hard to run for like a long-term game. There's something about it. The growth is weird for superhero stuff. Everything's weird. You know what I mean? Everything's just weird. So I'm gonna take a look at that today, see if it's any good. It's gotten rave reviews from everyone. And honestly, everything I've touched from Outgunned so far has been fucking wonderful. So I figure we take a look at it, dive through it, do the quick 10-15 minute recording of my overall idea on it. I don't know how many of you in the audience have played Outgunned, but it's stellar. This is the... Everything is just weird. What is all weird? Oh, the shirt? It's just the length is weird. Feels like a nightshirt. Feels like a moo-moo. But this is pretty cool. So 5-star reviews. Not a lot of ratings yet, but have been around. We're definitely going to be going over this most of today. There's the affiliate link for anyone who wants to pick it up and do some supporting. PDF is 19 right now. Well worth it. I think it's like 300 pages, something or over 200. I love the art. I really like the art. I think the art looks great. World's mightiest RPG. So let me zoom in a little bit here, so we can read what they say the game is about. Outgunned Superheroes is a cinematic TTRPG inspired by the classic superhero genre, from the unforgettable Spider-Man trilogy to the great crossovers of MCU, all the way through Iron Man, Batman, X-Men, and many others. In Outgunned Superheroes, the players take on the role of superheroes, standing against an evil villain who has become the threat to the city, world, or whole universe. Outgunned Superheroes is a genre book on the Outgunned line, and you can play it either standalone or in an expansion to Outgunned. Director's Cut. Outgunned Superheroes is powered by full throttle cinematic system called Director's Cut. System uses small tools of 6-sided dice to determine the outcome of tasks, involved risks, and danger. When rolling dice in Outgunned, your goal is not to only roll the highest or lowest total, but to combine as many unique symbols as possible in pairs, threes of a kind, and so on. Are you new to Outgunned? I gotta do a breakdown. Great art, really looks good. Great reviews from everybody. Like, there's no bad review on this so far, or anywhere else that I've looked. So, with that said, we're gonna get rid of Chrome. We're gonna pull up the actual book here and fox it, because y'all know Acrobat has been thrown to the curb. I've put them to the curb. They're no longer my main reader. It's now Foxit. It's been my main reader for a little while now, and so far it has been wonderful. Well, why is this not? Hold on. I realize that it's not covering. Oops, stop it. The whole screen. The Snap 2 on Windows gets really aggravating when you're trying not to snap things. And I learned that if you hold Control, it doesn't snap. All right, here we go. So super clean. I love the Iron Man aesthetic. She looks dope. The art's great again. So I'm excited to look into this. I want to do the front cover and the back cover, and then we'll kind of dive into what this is about. So that's our front cover. Let's go to the back cover. Is this it? Oh, wow. Oh, no, that's actually this. No, that is. So back cover, they give us all of our, like, inspirations in here. Filmography. I actually like them. People argue that filmographies are only for the people who are in the game. I like it because it gives people a baseline. If you're mad that they like a movie that you don't like, then fuck you. Like, don't watch that movie. Don't whine about it, though. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't do anyone any good. So it looks good. Really clean, of course. So let's go back to the first page. I'm going to zoom in. This art's really good, actually. That's a great rendition of Iron Man. I guess that helmet doesn't close or cut her hair off. Right? So, standalone genre book for the cinematic action RPG Outgunned. For those who don't know, Outgunned is an A5. Small book, really clean. I think A5 has become my preferred print size. I don't know if I'd ever do a full 8.5 by 11, the big books anymore. I think this is the only thing I want to make anymore. Like, in all honesty, I don't think I want to make anything else but that. There's no reason. So let's get through some book pages here. Let's see what we can get. These are tools, not rules. Agreed. I agree with that. A unique choice for the logo. There's no, like, symbol. It's just the name. I'm surprised a little bit by that. To be honest, I'm a little surprised. I do love their logo. I think they have one of my favorite logos right now in tabletop. B5 is okay. That's the new... Isn't that what this one is? So, like, I got this from the Dark Space guys. And this is a B5, right? Am I correct? And that's B5? It's a little tight. It makes art a little difficult. And I was talking to another publisher. I think the problem with this book is holding it is uncomfortable. It's really, it's too tight. There's nothing to hold. It's a little weird. The print quality they got from this, though, from their printer is exceptional. Digest. But it's exceptional quality. This print quality is fucking awesome. I will say that. And they didn't have. They wanted to do this side, but they couldn't. The company they went through didn't have that. But I really like the book. Like I said, the Dark Space guys with their expanded version knocked it out of the park. There's a lot of blank pages. Okay, I was gonna say, what the fuck is going on? This needs to be optimized a little better. I don't really want bigger. I love this art. I love the fucking the pro wrestler vibe. Taped on claws, like wrapped on. And like look at all the fucking the colored bandages. I dig this art. That's actually really cool. Okay, is it hyperlinked? It is. Sold. I'm sold. It's hyperlinked. That's all that matters. And this is a sample character sheet too. So you can see what the character sheets look like. And these are clickable character sheets. They actually meant full clickable character sheets, right? All the power stuff's clickable, everything. Characters made, you can type in here, these are clickable, the powers are clickable. Everything on this character sheet's clickable. I have been drinking coffee. So I like these. I just wanted to show the character sheet off before I close it. So hyperlinked, love this. Awesome. So let's zoom in and take a look at like what we're actually getting. Wait a minute, did they? Oh no, I thought they did a two-layer scroll. So superheroes, hero sheet, roles, tropes, superheroes, and feats, basics of the game, face danger, enemies and super enemies, weapons and gear, what heroes do, under attack, heroes assemble. This is a genre book for Outgunned. I really feel like this needs to be optimized a little bit. how big is this file? I'm feeling a lot of sluggishness. It's 85 megs. Or sorry, yeah, 85 megabytes. That's kind of a big, it's a little big. It's 270 pages though. I'm just seeing some choppiness in the scroll, which I don't like. What's the setting? What's the goal? How many players do we need? 3 to 4 heroes. Nice. They're telling you to do 3 or 4. They're not. Here, let me get this out. Let me get to the comment stuff. We want a selection tool. I think that this is a pivotal choice. I love that. 3 to 4. Don't overcomplicate it. You know what I mean? Don't overcomplicate it. Yes, I have the Outgunned book. No, I do not have the Outgunned book. Okay, well, what's this? You can treat it like a mega expansion rule book that enriches your game, experiences new additional roles and options for your heroes, introduce brand new mechanics, anything you need to bring to superheroes. Movies, Outgunned contained in this book, including a vast section dedicated to superpowers. But there's more. Superheroes offer simplified rules for weapons, while adding new concepts like gadgets, team-ups to be able to choose which tools you use for your sessions. For your convenience, all the rules previously indicated in the book are compiled in Section 2, Basics of the Game. Oh, that's actually smart. Veterans like you could skip this chapter, although, I must warn you, it has been enhanced with new, useful examples. Okay. And then, no, I do not own Outgunned. The good news is that Superheroes is completely standalone. You don't need another book to play. Not even the Outgunned core rulebook. In this genre, you'll find everything you need. So they reprinted the rules in here and 2 for you to figure out how to play. Okay, that's really nice of them. That's why it's 270 pages. Right? So, a handful of 6-sided dice, roll the director. Oh, they did special dice for this? If it's 6-sided, that means there's a breakdown. This game uses 6-sided dice, or D6s. The custom super dice make it easier for you to spot successes, but they're not required to play. If you don't have them, you can use normal 6-sided dice. So we're going to have to find the breakdown. Superpowers. So the welcome hero. The upcoming page, you learn everything you need to know about playing, about how to gain and use unbelievable superpowers in order to thwart the plan of evil. Villain. Superheroes, how to create, superpowers and feats, basics of the game, face danger, a couple other things. Okay, cool. Great art yet again. Art's phenomenal. Core themes, great powers, even greater responsibilities, the person in the mask, pick yourself up, sacrifice your real family, doesn't matter where you're born, your friends are the family you choose. I mean, I'll be honest, I agree with this in real life. I wholeheartedly agree with this. Super moves. Outgunned Superheroes is a love letter to cinema and superhero movies. This game is not inspired by the classic comics that tell stories about men and women in capes and tights, but by the movies that have built a universal fantasy and started in the 80s and still last to this day. If you want to catch up on the classics of the genre, at the end of this book, you can see the filmography, movies, TVs. Oh, so they are specifically aiming for the cinematic feel of superheroes. You know, I don't know if I've seen a group do that. Have you? Huh. I'm looking at some over here. Like, I'm looking through all the superhero games I have. I don't think I've seen that. Like, in all honesty. No, I have not. That's kind of a smart play. That's really smart. All right, cool. I was just looking through all the superhero games. I have none of them match that. Right? Like, nobody. Oh my God. Sorry, everybody. Did anyone look at our Discord for what AW just posted? Hold on. We got to look at this really quick. I'm pausing this. We'll get back. We'll get back to it. Hold on. Okay, check this out. He said, this is serving as your eviction notice.
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Look at this. Serving as your eviction notice. Sorry, I just saw that pop up in my Discord off the left. I was like, I have to show that. That's actually really fucking funny. I have a superhero RPG. I just don't remember the name of it. I have it in a binder. And I have a ton of them, but like most superhero games are based on the comic books. Like I have Icons. That's probably my favorite. I played a lot of Mutants and Masterminds and Champions back then, but those are all based on the actual comics. And I find that the movies probably are a better choice, to be just blunt, right? I think that's just a better way to do it. Because people understand it, it's easier to watch, it's bite-sized, you don't have to read comics. Look at this. God, this art is so good. Now or never. If you're on a school trip when you notice some criminals working into a bank, armed with rifles and bad intentions, you can call the police and go back to chatting with your crush. Before you even finish that thought, you're already masking up in time for action. I love it. I like telling characters just to commit. It's a problem in fantasy RPGs a lot where they don't want to commit. They don't want to do something. They worry about the ramifications. You should think it out, but you shouldn't do it forever. So I love that you're suiting up and getting it done. Again, fucking amazing art. The world is not ready. There's a little boy trapped by fire. When you reach out to grab him, he starts crying and flinches back, scared. It doesn't matter how many nights you spend fighting them. People don't see you as a hero. Maybe they never will. Cool. Unite, we win. You stand back up once more. You realize that you barely put a scratch on the villain. Pretty clear that you can't beat him on your own. Luckily, you're not alone. A portal opens up behind you, and through that, a light. You see the outline of your friends. Together, you can do this. So the idea of teamwork, I like that. That's superhero movies. Show, don't tell. The best movies don't just tell you about things. They show you things with facts and actions. You don't need long backstories and heart-wrenching tales. What truly matters is what's written on your sheet and what happens in the game. So definitely emergent gameplay, which I enjoy emergent gameplay. It's one of my favorite styles. Don't get me wrong, I like a little background for me to build off of as I'm doing stuff, but I don't need this elaborate backstory. You have to think that superheroes have their elaborate backstories because of the amount of comics that they've been in. They don't have elaborate backstories because someone sat down and wrote an elaborate backstory. That's not how that happened. I like that. I think that's a good thing. Again, amazing art. She's a badass. Absolute super badass. She's one of the playable characters too, I think, that come in the core set. And Two Little Mice comes in Italian and English anytime you buy it because it's an Italian company. So, if you want to be a great hero, you must follow these 3 rules. Answer the call, whatever it takes, protect the weak. Excellent. Very Mythic Bastion lands. They're giving you your job. They're saying this is your framework. Play in this framework. Which I like. I'm sure they're going to come out with a villain book too. Creating your hero, choose a role, mark your superpower, fill in your personal data, choose a trope, mark the attribute and skill points, add 2 free skill points, choose and note 3 feats from your role and trope, mark 1 power, 1 spotlight, 1 cash, buy 4 cash worth of gear. Done. And the sheets are clean. They're simple. Lies, my superhero Darkness has an elaborate backstory to explain why he doesn't get involved and is lazy. Then you're not a superhero, you're a lazy bitch. That's what that means. It means you're a lazy bitch. And you're not on the team. Enjoy your couch. I heard Blade's calling for a new vampire. I'm sure they'll come out with a villain book, but you're playing heroes in this. People are always like, where's my villain stuff? Not everybody wants a group of villains running around. And if you do, that is a group decision. But a group of heroes should not be playing with a villain every episode for the starting book to come out. But I like that. I like what they did. And they give you a breakdown of like what it is. I love the catchphrase. Anti-hero. I mean, it's still a hero. It's in the fucking title. I like that though. I like the catchphrases. That stuff's fun. All that's great. Choose your origin. So we got the classics: alien, arcane, divine, eternal, evolved, experiment, mutate, mutation, myth, prototype, simple human. Batman. Cool. Your roles: armorer, beast, blaster, champion, elemental, force master, maverick, psychic, shadow, shapeshifter, sorcerer, speedster, tank, teleporter, weapon master. That's pretty easy. You pick your main kind of like role that you do. 1 point in each 10 skills. So that's that core character sheet where you get 1 in each. You get 10 skills, 2 feats from the list, 6 for the role. Okay, cool. I'm sure we'll get into the roles here coming up. Incredible roles. In addition to normal roles, this book also includes 2 incredible roles: the Marvel and the Prodigy. I recommend choosing one of these roles only if you're already familiar with the game. Oh, so they got like an advanced one. The Prodigy is a non-role, which lets you choose an extra trope instead of your role. This means you have 2 tropes. One you mark down as your trope on your hero sheet, and the second you mark as your role, followed by Prodigy. This means your role could be billionaire, genius, prodigy, or working class hero prodigy. Okay. The Prodigy allows you to gain access to a vast array of powers, and it's a perfect role when you want to play an original, bizarre hero who doesn't fit the other categories. Nice. So like once you played a few times, they give you a way to kind of really build your own and flex that rule into something you like. This is a smart play where they're teaching you the game and then they're letting you do something advanced. A lot of games just be like, make whatever you want, and then no one understands the system. This group is literally telling you, learn the system, then make your prodigy. I actually think that's a really smart idea. Batman, I mean, Batman can be normal human too. Well, I mean, sure. You know, yeah, Batman. Everybody wants to be Batman. The worst person to play with a group of people. So this is the Armored, a charming billionaire with an energy reactor place of heart, a lethal soldier just trying to do their part, or a young kid who merged with technological parasites. So they're giving you a breakdown from all of superheroes. You know what I mean? They're giving you the rundown. Armoreds are indestructible knights of steel who can rely on technology at the edge of impossible. Shiny metal shell allows them to fly at great speed, but can also shoot rays of pure energy at their opponents, protect from most forms of attacks. And on top of it, has the timeless appeal of a hot rod convertible. True, absolutely amazing. So alien, prototype, or simple human is what you can do for that. Catchphrase: I'm the one who can do this, whatever it takes, according to my calculations, maybe. Kind of fun. So they're kind of giving you ideas. And then you pick. Attribute point: nerves or focus. Skill points: endure, flight, stunt, cool, drive, shoot, speech, style, detect, and fix. Superpower: you get a hyper technological suit of armor. Feats: choose 2. Barrier: bulletproof, personal AI, PhD, unlimited funds, unstoppable force. Great qualifications. You can even see they kind of gave you their Tony Stark. You know what I mean? And they're famous for doing this. If you look through the one that's like the villains, it's like all the John Wick style stuff and all your favorite like action movies as kids have those in there, Ghostbusters, things like that. And they want you to play the things you understand. Lone wolf who lives away from civilization, immortal soldier. So, I like this. So I'm really curious to see the powers. I think this is my favorite art so far, though. I dig this a lot. It's such a fun look. His final girl's playing for her. The blaster as the leader, shooting lasers from their eyes. Cyborg charged with energy, someone who can absorb cosmic rays. I like how quick this is going to be to make a fucking character. Oh, it's like Cyclops meets Cable. Love it. Again, phenomenal art. This right here, this shading, this reminds me of all the old Boris Vallejo. You know what I mean? Like, look at the board. That's that Boris Vallejo shading that you only get on his pieces. Look at that. Sexy as fuck. Great art. The art for this is fucking top notch. A champion, a demigod with power of thunder, a soldier that always does what's right, or a warrior king who protects his people. They give you all the breakdowns for it. Oh, she's cool looking. I love this. Their faces are so good. You know what? Gardens, I would agree with that until you watch the new X-Men. Have you watched the new X-Men? The animated one? Dude. Holy shit. I've always liked Cyclops as a concept for the character. His solo comics are really good. Like, really good solo comics. But the new X-Men 97, fucking phenomenal. And Cyclops is the biggest badass in that series. Hands down, one of the coolest, like, just fucking assemble the team moments in history happens in X-Men 97. It is so goddamn good. Right. But that's who Cyclops is. Everyone just wrote him as a bitch because of the love triangle. But his solo comics that weren't that way. Like, when he's in space and learns a lot about himself, it gets actually really good in that. But always wrote him that way. The Cyclops in that one, that's the Cyclops we deserve. The Elemental. Charming playboy surrounded by flames. A god with stormy disposition. A frosty boy next door. Nerves are smooth. Dude. This looks so good. This looks so good. A Force Master, rebel at heart who can control metals. My boy. A brilliant woman who can manipulate cosmic force. Nerves are focus. That's like Halle Berry Storm meets a Magneto almost. God, dude. The Maverick, adorable poker player, or a little crook from space. Okay, you got your Star-Lord. Private investigator who's stronger than she looks. Oh, Jessica Jones, baby. I love Jessica Jones. That's cool. Look at these guns. He looks better than Star-Lord. This motherfucker looks better than Star-Lord. He's got the jacket, but like the amulet he's wearing, the fucking tooth guns. This guy's a G. A little bit of Lobo in him, too. A lot of bit of Lobo in him. Psychic, friendly professor, young student with much to learn, or telekinetic with sword mode of light. That's cool looking. Really well drawn. Really, the texture on these pants is fucking killer. Shadow, a nightmare vigilante who blends with gargoyles, a lone knight who fights to protect the city, a blind avenger who fears nothing. I mean, this is gonna be your Batman. This is your Batman, boys and girls. That's awesome looking. It's like Batman, Hawkman kind of feel to him. That's really good. That's actually a cool costume. Dig it. Spy that can change their face, a green-skinned kid who can speak to animals, obviously Beast Boy, elastic genius with a really long neck. Oh. I wasn't expecting that. That's a really unique, not Puma Man. Well, I mean, sure, but they were talking about Beast Boy. Stretching urban appearance. That's a cool transformation. Damn. Great paint job. That's a hard transition. Young apprentice full of ambitions, a powerful wizard across many realities, an unstoppable mother. It's got a little bit of magic, one of my favorites in it. That's really, this is, again, knocking it out of the park. I'm excited to see the powers. The speedster, hero can keep up with someone when he never sits still, when it's going too fast for their own good. Obviously, brawn or smooth. Super speed. What's the art? Okay, that's dope. I love the goggles. The goggles, the hood, the kind of track star suit, the pumps, the dope-ass kicks. That's so good. Awesome. Fucking... The fucking hair is awesome. I have a lifetime membership to Champions Online. Played it for a long time. Me and Todd played a lot of it. We won so many costume contests. Little Frozone, yeah. Absolutely some Frozone. Absolutely. The tank, gentle giant with skin like steel. Ooh, this is done. Skin like steel. Grumpy behemoth made of stone. A tree, a few words. A scientist with anger management issues. I mean, that's our big boy. Incredible, insurmountable, irascible. That's awesome. Love it. Incredible strength. Oh, that's... I love characters with, like, teal and blue skin. I've always been a fan. It's got, like, cracks and shit. Oh, he almost looks aquatic. Look at him boots. And the color for the nose, a little bit of purple. That's really well done. You know, if you're going to make a comic book game, you have to nail the art or you failed. You have to. Or you're done out of the gate. Circus performer with blue skin, a magician who doesn't like to sit still, or a vagabond who's always on the road. Oh, is that like the teleportation? That is a really cool, like, magic unraveling of someone. I kinda adore that. Wow. Wow. That's really good. Just the hair that this artist is doing is phenomenal. This looks like it's all the same artist. I'll have to double check that at the end. Yeah, a little Kitty Pryde. Yes, dude. Absolutely. Like, I feel like so many of us are comic book fans, but running it is not easy. Archer never misses, a mercenary with katana, a gunslinger that always hits his mark, a weapon master. I have tons of them. What are those? He's gonna look like Grifter. Oh boy, what? I love the art, but I don't know what this is a merger of. Probably katana and Grifter. She actually looks like she's from Cyberpunk. All them kicks. The Marvel. An alien who came here to save the world, to conquer it, a god among mortals, or individual from the eternity, imbued with power. This is going to be your Superman. Clean. Very classic, very to the point. All of their dress for, like, the accoutrement and any of the medals are done so well. Really clean. Prodigy, a runaway who doesn't accept the powers, a neighborhood friend who is from skyscraper to skyscraper, another hero unique in the genre and impossible to classify. This is great. And then, so it looks like here, let me just go back up. I want to see something. So Marvel. So Marvel gets attribute points, brawn, smooth, invincible, feats, choose 3, skill endurance. Okay, I was wondering how they worked. They're a little different. And then the Prodigy we already learned about. What we got for the Prodigy art? Spider-Man? Yep. Huh? I actually kind of dig it. And then your tropes. These are the tropes that you pick for your character. When you choose a trope, you gain 1 point in an attribute, 1 point in each of the 8 skills. And you choose 1 feat from a list of 4 for the trope. So when you pick one of these tropes, you're getting 1 in all attributes, 1 in each skill, and you get to pick a feat. So I guess the curiosity is going to be, what are the feats? Anti-hero. Okay, so this is exactly like Outgunned. So like if you're an anti-hero, you get an attribute point in Nerves of Crime. You choose a feat, Energy Manipulation, Immortality, Trained Fighter, or Unstoppable Force, and you get skill points in these. All right. That's nice. This allows you to mix your trope and your role together to make kind of the thing that you want. Yeah, there's an anti-hero. I knew there would be. But you're not a villain. There's a fucking difference. That's April O'Neil. She was a ninja, kinda. Billionaire genius, charming misfit, a chatty mercenary. We all know who that is. Country boy girl. That's your Superman. Cynical tinkerer. The Dark Knight. The Deadly Beauty. The Good Advisor. The Hot Mess. Humorless Grouch. The Most Dangerous. These also are really good descriptions for how to play your character. Nosy Four Eyes. A Few Words. A Sassy Genius. Sentimental Rebel. Your Super Soldier. Your Tough Exterior. Tragic Past. Batman. Walking Hazard. And Working Class Hero. That's really clean. Attributes and skills. Unfortunately, Hero's file is mostly made up of crises that need to be avoided and villains trying to conquer the world. So a colorful suit and some one-liners won't be enough. You want to save the day? Luckily, we're going on a mission. You can rely on 5 attributes and 20 skills to help you overcome any obstacle. Every time you pick up the dice, you must choose 1 attribute and 1 skill and add up their scores. That is how many dice you have in your pool. You'll find each skill under the attribute is paired with most often, but you can mix and match it that makes sense. Yeah, so in the character sheets, here, let me open one back up. Let's open up. Let's do a non-fillable because it'll be easier to look at and cause problems. We'll do Captain Storm. So Captain Storm, when you play this game, you have Brawn and Endure, so you would have 3 dice for Brawn, right? If you're going to use Brawn, and you're going to use that to pick something up, you would also, like, say you use Stunt, and you'd roll those together. And you're looking for pairs and stuff to make things happen. But let's say the car's engine blows out, and you're like, I'm going to run it. You would use Brawn and probably Drive for 2 dice. And then you would roll those. See how easy that is? I love it. I love it. And there's things that allow you to reroll. In this game, it's like kind of like poker meets dice pairing, tripping, and shit like that. Like tripling, full house, stuff like that. And you get rerolls. Sometimes you can keep things, sometimes you can't. So that's what they're talking about here. You can have up to 3 points in the attribute or skill. Each hero starts off with 2 points in an attribute and 1 point in all skills. These points are already marked in your hero sheet. You can choose a role and trope. You gain 2 attribute points and 18 skill points determined by that role and trope. Additionally, when creating your character, you can add 2 free skill points wherever you'd like to kind of round out your character. When advancing during your mission, you'll gain new skill points assigned or represent your personal growth. So here's what they all do. Endure is like pain, fight, forces, hold, push, break things, stuff like that. And drive is like driving a car, bike, helicopter, so on. But you can move if you speak properly and phrase how you want to set your scene for what you're doing, you can kind of combine things out of the pools that are in if it makes sense, which I love. I love it. It's fucking great. And that's the thing I liked about Vampire the Masquerade back in the day too, is you could take your main skill and your main pool and merge those things together. So then there is resources. Aside from attribute points, you can also rely on several resources They'll allow you to get important advantages to keep track of condition, even if you cheat death when it seems lost. Grit. So you start the game with all your grit and no conditions. Trust me, it won't last. Additionally, start off with 1 power, 1 spotlight, 1 cash. Those are different currencies you can spend to do stuff. Grit and conditions. Your grit represents your ability to shake off wounds, stress, and allows you to keep standing up after every failure. On your hero sheet, you find 12 empty boxes that represent your grit. When you lose the same grit, you must fill in some of those boxes. So when you lose some grit, you must fill in those boxes. Okay. Then there's the look section here, your character sheet, which you keep track of conditions and consequences such as bad injuries, exhaustions, and others. That's in the face danger section of the book. Is this hyperlinked? This should have been hyperlinked. Power and spotlight. You begin the game with 1 power, right? You can always spend it to gain a +1 for a roll, which you deem important, or use it to activate some of your superpowers or feats. So that's like a power pool that you pull things from to get things done, which is pretty standard for TTRPGs, really standard for superhero games. Spotlights are even more precious resource. They allow you to get everyone's attention by accomplishing feats worthy of a character in a superhero movie. Begin the game with 1 spotlight, and you can spend it to gain a success without rolling any dice. So it's like I'm doing this no matter what, this is my scene, which I enjoy, especially for superhero stuff. And honestly, any action movie and everything that these games are based on is action. Cash, 1 cash. It's an abstract unit of money that represents buying power. You can spend cash to buy gears and services or bribe people. Unlimited funds feat, which grants you a lot of extra cash for the first session. Then you get your starting gear. They talked about us buying that earlier. More great art. I like the suit again. Now we get into the powers. I think this is the thing we all really wanted to see, like what the powers are. This needs to be optimized. I think that's my only problem with this PDF so far. It's very chunky. Like it chunks in. Like look at this. There's no reason for this to not be running right. I am only at 22% of CPU and 31% of memory. There's no reason for it to be running this chunky. It's because the PDF is not optimized. So superpowers, spotlights, feats, basic package. So they got packages you can just buy. What has its own die? No, there are their own dice, but you can use D6s for it. We'll get to that here in chapter 2. Your weakness. Oh, every hero has a weakness too. Nice. Our Black Blue Beetle, Spider-Man, kind of in that Miles Morales time frame. Miles is one of my favorite Spider-Men. Superpowers. Starting up. Here we go. Let's get into the superpowers. Some superpowers allow you to spend power to take special actions. Most special actions are instantaneous, while others require an action, a quick action, or a full turn in order to activate. Remember that while in combat, you can take a free, quick action either before or after rolling your dice. If you use your full turn to activate a special action, on the other hand, you can't do anything else. Makes sense. Narrative superpower. When a hero uses superpower to give color to their actions without really seeking mechanical results in terms of the game, you can bend the rules a little. You know, if someone tries to use their powers in a playful or narrative way, there's no reason to spend power or roll dice. Thank you for fucking pointing this out. That sometimes shit is just narrative. Smart. General rule, each role is tied to a set of superpowers. However, you are always free to discuss with your director the option of choosing an unusual superpower for your role. Would you like to play a champion with elemental control? Why not? I know a hammer that would fit you to a T. Irony. Feel free to branch out. I like that. This is like just a baseline. They're telling you to take the rules they're giving you and fucking break them and use them for what you want. Arcane powers. Phenomenal magical powers. Start the game with 2 power instead of 1, but when you go down to 0 power, you feel out of energy and cannot use your arcane powers. You can use your magic to summon small everyday objects, for example, a pan, a rose, a fountain pen. Additionally, create illusions and telekinetically move objects. They're not anchored to the ground, as if you had two invisible hands, flying hands. When you use these arcane powers to take complex, tiring actions, you need to make an action word. Smooth plus leadership. That's cool. With difficulty set by the director, you can always rely on free rolls for such rolls. Like flirting with a wall? No. I mean, I guess, but no. In most situations, you use your arcane powers to do something simple and small, or you can show off. Super weapon of your choice is either a magical weapon or an arcane missile, so you can shoot stuff or have like a sword, like a magic sword, like magic. Astral projection for 1 power. You can spend 1 power to create a projection of your body made of light. The projection can float, turn invisible, go through solid objects. That's kind of cool. Then you got Battleborn. Choose a weapon, guns, bows, melee weapons. Dark Presence, Vanish. Spend 1 power point to get away from a thorny situation, break free of a grapple, and so on. Cool. Elemental control. Choose which element you can control. Water, electricity, fire, ice, storm, wind, earth, wind. Then you get elemental ray, and then you get elemental form. Cover yourself in your element. That's pretty cool. Till the end of the scene, you can fly as if you had flight feet. That's kind of nice. And gain a free reroll to use both your element and your elemental ray. So basically you roll to use them, and you'll get a free reroll to do it, which we'll get into the rolls in Outgunned in a sec. I'll summarize it pretty quickly. Force control, cosmic, electromagnetic. What is this? Alien parasite. Some heroes owe their powers to an alien parasite or something symbiote of that kind. To bring one of these heroes into the scene, you can choose the incredible strength, superpower, and the transformation feat. Alternatively, if the parasite is biomechanical, organism complete from cutting-edge weapons, you can use the hyper-technology armor. So they're just basically telling you to redress and field dress the descriptions. Hyper-technological armor. They're telling you that right before this, which is smart. It's probably a 2-page spread. Recall. What's that? When in the open or near your suit of technological armor, you can spend 1 power to make it fly onto your body. Oh, that's cool. You can just fucking summon it to you. Incredible strength. Sure, you can make Power Rangers. I mean, they're based comic book characters. There's other games I would use to do Power Rangers. I would just run Warpaint, but... Incredible strength. Destroy an object or ride. Destroy an object or ride or gain +2 to a brawn roll if you do the smash ability. That's awesome. Little reuse of art. I'm not too keen on that. I would rather have seen a new pose for him, personally. Explosive force, mind powers. Okay, so these are really clean. Nothing crazy. What is this? One of a kind. You can choose 1 superpower, 1 feat, or 2 feats from all those available. You cannot choose the invincible superpower unless it's absolutely crucial to the flow of the story and other players agree. When filling in your hero sheet, you gain 2 extra skills. Oh, that's kind of cool. So it's like you're a one-of-a-kind build. That'll let you kind of just pick things and mash them and make what you want. That's kind of nice that they put that in. Shapeshifter. Oh, there's like different versions. Nice. Quick change. Especially when you have powers like your friends. You begin the game with 2 spotlights instead of 1. Underdog. Repeat 1 roll of any kind. Rolling is important in this. Anytime you see like repeat 1 roll, that may sound really basic, but in this game, it's really, really powerful. Like really powerful. Super speed, be right back. Full turn. You can spend a turn to reach a spot you could run to, retrieve or drop something, and then come back. You don't need to spend power to do it. That's dope. Just a full turn. In a flash, quick action once per turn. If you are free from obstacles and able to move, you can spend 1 power point to take one of the following actions. Run to any one place you know, or take or leave an object or person there. Abandon combat and get out of range of an enemy. Change clothes or put on your super suit. Succeed in a reaction roll. Skull without rolling the dice. I think skulls are 1s. Do a second action roll with a -1 with any free roll. I like to teleport. Teleporting is the power I would take in real life. Round trip, you spend 1 power point to teleport a place you can see. So boom, boom, back and forth. Or a group teleport, cost you points. or yourself. These are powers and spotlights you get. Spend 1 power to gain a 1 roll. Spend 1 power to activate a special action that requires it. Spend 1 power, 1 or more power to show off your superpower. Spend 6 power to immediately get a spotlight. So you can build up power as you're playing, by the way. Little rocket raccoon cat. What do you... What? I don't know what you're talking about, root vegetable. We're talking about a superhero game. All right over there? What else do we got here? Grand power, timeout, last power, losing power, 1 last effort. That's kind of cool. I like that. So 1 last effort. If you're desperate and need a power, you can decide to make 1 last effort, gain a power to use immediately. Gain 1 power to use it immediately. You can make 1 last effort only when you have 0 power. So once you tap, you can do it again and you gain the exhausted condition. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Is there anything else that's good? Is there anything else on this page? Show off your superpower. Expanding powers. This is what I want to know. During your downtime, you can expand. You can spend the time at your disposal to expand your powers and surpass its limits to achieve even greater and more extraordinary results. For example, a psychic can try to unleash their powers to locate someone within the force of the mind. All sorts are going to attempt a complex. So this allows you to take your powers and do more. That's kind of cool. And they have like expanded. So that's all the basic stuff you can do. And then the rest is more of what you can do. That's pretty dope. Let's get a... I'm going to delete that. Fucking weirdo. Price to pay. Cost for powers. I was remember which attempt to show off the power unique in separate ways. Your hero takes the same action in different circumstances. The cost will result. Okay, that's pretty cool. Failure. Let's get into the roles so I can kind of teach what the roles are. Let me zoom out here a little bit because I think it's going to scroll a little better. We know how spotlights work. We know how flipping a coin works. We've discussed all this in another table. Secret identity at risk. We're going to discuss that. Here's the feats. The different feats that exist. Are these hyperlinked? They're not. Feats tied to superpowers. Oh, here we go. I am curious about this. Most feats are strictly tied to a hero's superpowers. For example, if you're a psychic with foresight feat, it's likely that your ability to predict what your opponent is going to do next is tied to your mind powers. Okay, so they want you to tie them together. Most feats are always active, and they allow you to take actions that would otherwise be impossible. Others grant you a free reroll when you act in a specific way. So basically, re-rolling is if you roll, it doesn't work. You have to re-roll everything and keep what you do. And then there's another version of re-roll where you can pick and choose what you re-roll. That's like the advanced version. Little too much repeated art for me. I mean, I love it, but I'd like new art for those characters. It's like bulletproof. Your body is made of stone or metal. Your skin and bones are as tough as Duramantium. You're completely immune to damage from firearms, but not all energy weapons or explosives. I don't know. I deleted it. During a shootout, a friend can use your partial cover. Oh, people can stand behind you. That's pretty cool. That's a nice. This is a great. One of the better versions, I would say, of being bulletproof in a superhero game that I've seen. Bullseye, Cyborg, these are the different things. What's the solid metal? You can spend 1 power point To repeat a failed action roll, that's pretty dope. So these are all of those. Gadget, giant growth. How does this work? You can spend 1 power to quickly turn into a giant. While you're a giant, your bronze score is always equal to 5. Every time you stand to lose grit, instead lose half of that amount rounded up. However, due to your size, become extremely slow and heavy. Automatically fail all rolls in crime. Yeah, because everyone knows who the fuck you are. Still dope. Hacker. Hard to kill. Jet boots. Invisible. So some of these feats are like powers. Mind control puppet. Full turn action. You're not a normal human. This gives you the hindrance whenever you speak to the interactive character you don't know. At the same time, appearance grants with intimidation. Nice. Dark side, shit like that. Personal AI. These are all great. Ooh. Dude, he's got a fucking hockey duck mask. Little Oliver Queen. I like that. A Ronin. Prep time. Driver. You can shrink. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Speak with animals. Super ride. Trained fighter. Transformation. When you transform, you get access to all the superpowers and feats on your hero sheet. And you can move 1 attribute point of your choice. For example, from focus to brawn, transformation requires a full turn. So it'll let you be 2 things. Smart and strong. I like that. Devastating attacks. There's another version of her. Cool, we're getting extras. Basics of the game, section 3. Rolling the dice, here we go. Action rolls what you do. You're free to choose what attribute, what skill to call into play, and then you roll them together. Like, I run towards the edge of the roof and try to jump over to that skyscraper and make an action and brawn stunt. Action roll and brawn plus stunt. Reaction rolls, directors tell you something's happening. React, think saving throws. That's how I always explain this to people. Undercover agents of Siren are trying to entail you. Make a reaction roll and crime plus awareness. Really simple. What's at stake? There's always something online. Having a clear image of what's in stake allows the director to determine what the consequences of success and failure should be. I believe in presenting success and failure pretty heavily in all games. Like, in failing this, X will happen, so you know the risk. I think that's only fair to players. Facing a roll, there's something on the line. Broadly speaking, a nice success always means you reach your goal. You've done it once again. And failure, on the other hand, means you didn't really go as planned. Pretty simple. Attributes and skills. When you're making a roll, you must always use 1 attribute and 1 skill. Although skills are listed under attribute, they're most often paired with. They already talked about being able to move them around. You build dice pools, 6-sided dice. You can use common 6-sided dice. Okay, so are they going to tell us? That must come up. Power conditions and gear can modify. So basically, you can get 2 dice for something. And you do +1 or remove 1 for +1s and -1s. And that means you add 1 die for each +1 or remove 1. If you're acting under favorable circumstances or smart choices, the director can just reward you bonuses. All things considered, you can never roll less than 2 or more than 9. So 2 to 9 is the die pool that you can have. So a lot of dice. And you'll see why. Roll difficulty, basic, critical, extreme, impossible. They're giving you your levels of difficulty for a superhero game. Right? Like jumping over a wall, stealing a key card off an agent, critical, full action reaction, like bursting through a wall, jumping out of a window, earning someone's trust, truly demanding action, like stopping a train, hitting a speeding target at night in a pouring rain, persuading a sworn enemy to cooperate, or desperate action or reaction, like holding 2 halves of a ship that was cut down the middle, facing enemy lethal drones, withstanding power of eternal shards, stuff for movie trailers. That's the impossible. So, I love that they do this. We're going to switch the view. We're going to go to the 2 view. Here's why. When they do these, they are showing you the different levels of success through art. 2 of a kind, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, 5 of a kind. That's the game. That's the game, everybody. That's what you're looking for. And it allows you to take extra actions and things like that. So we go back. And it sounds so basic. You're like, oh man, this is going to be boring. I played. This shit ain't boring. It's fucking awesome. So most often, yeah, it's super easy. When you face a roll, the director is tasked with setting the difficulty, but they are not required to disclose it before you roll. Most rolls worthy of heroes are critical rolls. Usually, that should be the difficulty of your actions and reactions. Whether in doubt, a director can always use this as a difficulty of a roll. Basic rolls are small fry challenges, while extreme rolls will make you in a desperate situation. Impossible rolls are awfully rare, and clearly we're asking for it. Power tiers are 3 power tiers that can change difficulty levels in the game. Street World, Cosmic. To learn more about that, go to the power tiers. So they got different levels of difficulty. I love these just blasting Ultron drones. Like, that's obviously the Hulk. That's obviously Iron Man. You know what I mean? Like, they're giving you things to look at, but it's not identical. So here's the rule of the dice. You don't need to roll every dice for everything you do, but once the dice are rolled, there's no going back. You try to lift a plane and score an impossible success. You don't ask me how. You done it, don't ask me how. So you only get that one roll. Double difficulty. When you're making especially complex or dangerous rolls, the director can choose to set a double difficulty for it. That means that the roll will have a difficulty equal to 2 basic, 2 critical, or 2 extreme. But never 2 impossible, because that would beat you. There's only 9 dice. You could never get it, right? So if I'm like, that's great, but you need 2 basic successes to do this because you're doing 2 things. You would roll your pool of dice. Like, for example, if I have 6 dice, right? And I roll them, and I got a pair of 6s, and I was like, okay, that's pretty good. And I got a trip of 1s. I at least have a basic. That means I did it. I got my pairs. I got what I needed. But I didn't get 2 triples, so I have 1 die left. If I could push that roll somehow, I can hope for a 6. I didn't get it, but I got a quad, right? When you face a roll of double difficulty, you still roll the dice only once, but you need 2 successes to prevail. In the event of failure, you have to deal with 2 different consequences. The only consolation is that if you score at least 1 success you need, you can avoid one of the consequences. The rule is more commonly applied to reaction rolls to respond to multiple dangers, like several people shooting from different directions, trying to save numerous people, shit like that. Pretty cool. Really clean. And then they're going to go into the breakdown on setting the difficulty, how it works. 2 critical rolls are a happy medium between critical and extreme. So basically, there's steps between. So it's like 1 basic, 2 basics is in between. Pretty simple, right? They also talk about, directors said basic difficulties for rolls that concern really simple things, but still hide a small chance of accidents. For example, if a group of several heroes are trying to sneak in or climb over a wall, there's a chance that one of them might make the wrong move. When a hero tries to do a simple action in the field, outside their expertise, the director can say, hey, give me a basic roll. It's not what you do. You're like breaking open a wall when you're not strong, right? But they're like, I'm strong. You're like, you fucking walk through the wall. So here is the rules. Here's the rules, right? You get successes for each set of 2 or more dice that land on the same side. 2 axes are worth just as much as 2 fires, 3 shields, or 3 blah. The symbol makes no difference. They literally just put out dice with 6 different images so you know what they do. You know what I mean? It's just to make it better than just 1s and 6s. But to a regular gamer, it doesn't matter that much. So to pass a basic action, you need a basic success. To pass an extreme roll, you need an extreme success. It's that simple. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Jackpot is 6 of something. Okay? 5 levels of success. Pretty easy. That's the game. If you score a higher success than needed, the director can grant you an even better outcome than you wanted or give you an important advantage. If you score a lower success, you can try to do something to mitigate partially. If you score more success than you need, you can use them to take extra action. So if I only need to do 1 action, I throw my dice and I roll these again and I get 2 1s, 2 3s, and then I can push. I'm going to re-roll these failures and I got another 3. I can take my first action to like jump a wall with 2 dice. And then with my 3 that I got, I could do that and then spray the room with like my blast of fire, or psychically stun everyone when I walk into the room. That's what that second one does. It lets you take multiple actions based on the successes that you get. It's pretty fun. Yeah, remember, we're not playing poker here. A full house is nothing more than a critical success and a basic success. It's just that simple. And the game moves fast. You take actions quick in this fucking game. So here's your like success table on the chances of what you're going to get based on how many dice you have. Which is a great table. Like, this is something that in my eyes, a GM should print and have sitting next to them. Like, this is a must to just have next to you. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if you don't have that, you're fucking yourself over. How do I... Can I drew. Can I want to know if I can right-click it, change the color? Like, how do I change the color? I've been trying to figure out how to do this. I haven't played with the coloring thing that much. Regardless, still fucking cool. I see drawing. I see oval. Where's the color piece for it? There's got to be a... Select annotation. I bet you that's what it is. Yep, there it is. And I can select the color back to the color which is color. So that's awesome. Oh yeah. 3 equals 1. 1 equals 3. 3 smaller successes are worth as much as 1 greater success. And 1 greater success is worth as much as 3 smaller ones. That means that you can take 3 basic successes to make a critical, and 3 critical successes to make it extreme. So you can trade in successes to go up. So if I get 2 2s, 2 3s, and 2 5s, right? That much, I could trade that up to get myself a critical success. So that's the other thing too, you can step up. And it's such a clean system. It's so clean. You can also spend 1 critical success to do 3 basics. So if you get a crit, you can be like, I'm gonna kick the door open, roll through it, shut the door, and then I'm gonna put a castle on it and lock it by spending that critical success to do 3 actions. And it makes really cinematic pieces. Like when I ran the Terminator game, this allowed people to do things like, I'm gonna shoot, dive to cover, reload my mag. Because I got 3 successes, and be ready. You know, like aim as they come around the corner. A lot of them do really fun stuff like that. And there's no argument because the rules are stating what you can do. Then here's the reroll rules. You can always get it right on the first try. You can reroll the dice. You have scored at least 1 basic, you can reroll. And that's if you have scored, can't always get it right. If you have scored at least 1 basic success, you can reroll. Rerolling drastically increases your chances of success, so I suggest you do it very often. When re-rolling, you take all the dice that weren't part of a combination and roll them again. So if you only get 1 basic and you're like, fuck, the rest didn't go, you grab the rest and you roll again. The fails. When re-rolling, you take all the dice that were part of the combination, roll again. After the re-roll, your result is better than the first. Congratulations. Otherwise, you lose one of the previous scored successes. So if you re-roll, like you basically push, you have to get another success to keep your original success. Now are you getting where the complexity comes in this? Like, it's not crazy. It's actually pretty ingenious. It really is. And I already know this because I fucking played it for so long. You know what I mean? Like, it's my jam. And then they have the new Zelda one coming out for this too, the Sword, which I'm super excited for. Right? So free reroll is different. Some superpowers and feats allow you to make free rerolls in specific circumstances. When you take specific actions, for example, super speed, superpower grants you a free reroll whenever you run. Similarly to detective feat, grants you a free reroll when you're looking for clues or interrogating a suspect. A free reroll takes place of your normal reroll, but it's far better because when you make a free reroll, you never risk losing your initial success. So that pair that we get to keep. Right? It doesn't make the reroll. It doesn't matter if the reroll you get gets you better or extra successes or not. There we go. You can make a free reroll even if you didn't score any successes. So normally you have to have 1 to roll to get more. You have to be partially successful. And this one, if everything failed, you grab all the dice and you roll it again. And basically, if you can make a free roll, just do it. There's no reason not to. Just fucking do it. And then there's all in. After you make a reroll or free reroll, you got a better result. You can still choose to go all in. Once more, roll all the dice that weren't part of the success, like you would normally for a reroll. If you get a better result, Lady Luck has smiled on you. But if you do not get a better result, you lose all previous successes. So again, if we got those 2 ones, and let's say we did our free reroll, and I got 1 pair, and I still have 2 dice that are doing nothing. Nothing. I can go all in. But that means this has to be a pair. Because my understanding is you can't then take the extra pieces and move them. Like I couldn't roll 1 and 2 again and then pair them off, is my understanding. They have to be a better result. That's my understanding. Tally up your successes scored. If you scored at least a success, you can reroll. If you have a free reroll, you can reroll. If you didn't score a success, after making a reroll or a free reroll, if you got better result, then you can still choose to go all in. Maybe you can't. So I would reroll these and hope for a 3. I got a 5 and 3. I didn't get it. I'd lose all my successes because you're risking it for the biscuit, right? Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Always reroll. Risk it, baby. Risk it. Fun results. And then they give some really good write-ups usually on like how to do it. So like Hyper Knight, I've got this. I've activated the thrusters in my armor. I fly at top speed towards the truck, trying to veer around the cars in between. I roll nerves and stunt with 5 dice. Now all we're looking for is pairs. You got 1 pair out of that rundown. That's a basic success. Not enough, but at least I can reroll. I set aside my pair. I reroll again. I get this, getting a skull, a fire, and a shield. My final results are 3 skulls, so you can pair it. So he did upgrade it to a critical success. Boom. Captain Storm, Hyper Knight's words don't sound reassuring to me. I try to control my breathing and just keep running, dodging cars and passerbys. I roll brawn plus stunt, 6 dice total, critical success. That's how quickly this goes. It's fast as fuck, right? Really well done. So they go through everybody, giving you a whole rundown for what it is. Then they have help and hindrances, where you can get bonuses, like a bonus to an action or reaction roll for what you're doing. Maybe you have like lockpicks with you. Maybe you have a really good crowbar. Maybe you have some sci-fi tech piece. That's what this is for, which is dope. Bulky or inadequate gear, supporting characters who need your help or work against you. Favorable circumstances can become hindrances to your adventure. So people can cause problems. You can get a failure. You require help to do it because it's too much, and so on. This is 119 of 270 pages. We're going to be skipping through this a little quicker, I think. Hey, new art for her. And she does have a home. Is there something that pulls her hair in a ponytail so it doesn't get trapped? Whenever you score extra successes, you can spend them to take extra actions. I like this. Very, very well designed. She's calling her armor to her, which is cool. They talk about what cover does. They talk about what failure is. We're just clicking through here. 4 ways to fail with style. Roll with the punches, pay the price, take the harder road, face danger, all the things that you can do. Well, that's like the full scene of the blaster and the cat. That guy's destroying shit. I clicked twice. There's got to be something on this page. Dangerous rolls. So again, the symbols don't mean anything. Take action, reaction, put your line of safety. You have to make a dangerous roll. Outrunning laser beam, falling from a building, whatever it is. These different rolls, actions, reactions, and danger rolls, from now on will represent dangerous rolls with this symbol. This means when you read action roll or reaction roll, you're making danger. All those symbols are there for is to cut down how much they have to write. The skull just means bad. It means something bad can happen to you. They don't mean anything on the dice. It confuses people when they use these, but they're doing it to create a quick read, like way to read a stat block. That's what they're doing. But yeah, what's the difference? Well, if you fail a dangerous roll, you don't face the usual consequences and failure. Instead, you lose a set amount of grit. So you'll take damage. right? That's how damage happens. That's kind of like the hit point damage in this game. Damage control, losing grit. Yeah, death. Exactly. Yeah, death. That's exactly what it is. So pretty good stuff on there. You look tired is probably because you shopping bags under your eyes. Yeah, exactly. Conditions, 5 core conditions, what they all do. Again, they're just using the symbols to use them. Tired, hurt, nervous, like a fool. Distracted, scared, broken. Other conditions, powerless, like you lose your powers. Exhausted, defeated, blocked. That's cool. Destroyed helm. End of a hero. How you die in this game. How you save a friend. I love that they included all the rules. There's magic. There she is. With a lasso. So enemies, little venom, right? So now we're getting into like what the monsters look like, how to run your monsters, like soldiers with laser rifles. Very simple. 1 enemy, each grit, enemy defense, how that works. What you need to hit them, because you have to hit those basic and critical successes. They're walking through all the different versions of it. And then it looks like, let me back up here. It looks like FP, feat points. The director can rely on 6 feat points and is free to spend them to acquire a number of enemy feats. You don't need to spend all the available points. Actually, in most cases, 3 or 4 feat points should be enough to make a memorable enemy, but you get to pick feat points. Now, this is what I think Daggerheart should have done with building your monsters, where you just spend a point and give them abilities just really quick. But they didn't do that, and they didn't give us enough monsters, so we're set in this weird stagnant state to me. I think a build list like this that's just quick and to the point is way easier. Like in Daggerheart, the monster is a fear generator. It costs 2 points. Easy. The GM side of the table should be similar, but different. It should not be identical, because a player is playing within the rules to make sure that it's fair on the table and that they understand what's going on. A GM needs to be able to make quick judgments, and when you have to dig too much, it's not fun. Dude, this is Green Goblin and fucking Taskmaster. That's dope looking, by the way. Right? So cool, you can like 3 hit points, they got regeneration. I like this. I think this is really a really clean way to do it. Then they get special actions to make those fights memorable. Wouldn't it be Goblin Skull? 2 special actions, level 3 special actions. So these are the different things that they can do. And then look how quick, like look at the stat blocks. They're so simple. You can just have everything printed out with like the different abilities and this, and you're fucking done. I wonder if they have an app. They have an app that would make this really good. Fight, how you do it. Winning combat, losing combat. Action turns. Teaming up. You can team up in this game, which is cool. I think you give... If you've already been thinking about bringing together all your superpower wielding friends for a nice group team up to overwhelm a villain, you'll be happy to learn that the super team up already exists. It's called Assemble. To learn more, keep reading this section or fly straight to the chapter on Assemble. But team up during your action and combat, you can choose to team up with one of your allies. Doing so, doing your best to help them with their next roll. For example, you can grab your friend and throw them like a human cannonball. We all know the fucking fastball special. You can focus on an energy beam or a Durmantanium shield, or whatever they're calling it. So you can direct it. So with the team up, grant a fellow hero its most, but helping them take the form of a +1, but it also turn into an automatic success. If you need a refresher, go back to hindrance and help, and then you can decide how to do that. Then reactions, what a reaction roll is. Extra reactions, counter and protection, those are powers. Then they have an in-game game example again that you can go through and read. They're really good at their samples. I didn't realize he had wings. That's cool. And then assemble. So when you assemble, when heroes stand off against a problem that's too great or too complex to be resolved with a simple action roll, the director can state that they will need to assemble. When heroes assemble, they get a dramatic scene where all heroes join forces and coordinate their moves in order to deal with a catastrophic situation. Like a cruise ship being torn in two, a train with no brakes about to derail, or an all-powerful opponent who just won't stay down. In Outgunned, the core book, a special mechanic designed for chases, which is called Need for Speed. Since that structure assembles scenes and similar, this dedicated mechanic is called Need for Team. So this is fun. I liked their chase rules. I thought they were fucking amazing. So the need represents a crucial objective that can only be reached through cooperation. If the heroes are dealing with crumbling skyscraper, their need is to save everyone in the area. So this is, let me get my comment stuff out. Comment. Here we go. I just want to highlight this because when I'm scrolling through, I want to look at it. During the assemble scene, need is represented by a line of boxes, much like grit. The harder the challenge, the more boxes of need you'll have. Once all boxes are full, the heroes have reached their objective. So you're basically building a meter to solve a problem, right? The director is tasked with determining the need score and assemble the scene. The director determines that need is 12. They need to take a piece of paper, draw 12 boxes, and get it done. Teamwork. The score represents the heroes' joint efforts and how efficiently they can work together to find a solution. A high team score means that the heroes are being effective and coordinated, and that they have everything under control. On the other hand, a very low teamwork means that the heroes' actions are not cohesive and could lead to failure. When heroes first assemble, they take a numerical 6-sided dice and place it in the middle of the table. This represents their starting teamwork, which is 1. It's time to assemble. The heroes stand together, shoulder to shoulder, takes a die, places it in the middle of the table, 1 face up. I would do like a big fucking die, personally, like a big D6. At the end of each turn, the heroes fill in a number of need boxes equal to the current teamwork score. The higher the teamwork score, the easier it will be for them to resolve the situation. So that also means like certain assemble team-ups are better if you work together more. How assembly scenes unfold. Just like during combat scenes, assemble scenes are composed of alternating action and reactions. Action turn. During action, you can try to raise the teamwork score by taking their actions that they think will help solve the situation. Remember that the teamwork represents both how efficient the heroes are and their ability to work together as a unit. As such, heroes can increase their teamwork by either finding ways to solve problems or by finding ways to help their friends, making sure the efforts are successful. Captain Storm, there's someone still inside. I want to run through the rubble, get into the building before crumbling down. I roll brawn and stunt. I see the captain diving head first. I want to use magic to hold the crumbling structure together and make sure it doesn't fall on her head. I use smooth and leadership. If a hero scores a critical success, the teamwork increases by 1. An extreme success, the teamwork increases by 2. Possible success, the teamwork increases by 3. A hero scores a jackpot, finds a way to take control of the situation, coordinate all assembled heroes, achieving victory on the spot thanks to the leadership. So this is cool. You can like make really simple tasks and break them down and make it to where everyone's successes kind of count towards what's going on. And if you don't score at least a basic success, teamwork goes down by 1 because things get more difficult. I think X-Men, even more than Avengers or Guardians, showcase this the most. Because I think X-Men are like the king of teamwork. Just from me growing up with it. During a reaction, heroes must face a reaction roll, which, remember, skull means we're going to possibly take damage. Represents either an attack or a group of heroes or another danger, and then they have to roll. And then anyone who fails the roll, the group teamwork goes down. So your teamwork is shifting up and down as you're doing this. I almost think a sliding scale might be easier than a die, or an abacus might be easier than a die because you got to move it so often. And flipping a die gets fucking annoying. Like it's a 1, now it's a 2, no, it's a 5. Fuck me. Like, it gets annoying. I think a sliding thing would be easier, or just a piece of paper. I don't know. Something, a dial. I love that. When to assemble, like when to do it. Setting the need, starting teamwork. And then remember, the teamwork is just how many points you get at each end. So if it's a 12 and you get 6 and 2 teamworks, if you're at 6, you could get this done very quickly. Yeah, of course. Yes, exactly. They bitched and cried, but by the end they got their shit done. Always. Always. 97, baby. X-Men 97 are the best X-Men. I stand by it. Once you fill the need boxes, they reach their victory. At the beginning of the action turn, the teamwork score is greater than the number of boxes needed. If the teamwork score is greater than the number of boxes needed, they're still empty. The director can choose to end the scene. So, like, if you're doing really well and you have 6, and let's say the total was 11, and you have a 6 at the end of the scene, the GM can just go, all right, let's talk about how we finish the scene instead of fucking around, like, because they're just crushing it. Also, there's countdown rules and the way optional rules, assemble special actions. If you choose to use power actions to assemble scene, you can turn up to 3 need boxes into power boxes. After drawing the need boxes, circle 3 boxes of choice and draw a small spark around them. That means you got to use a power to finish those. That's really cool. So that means that you're not just able to roll skills, you have to use powers to overcome obstacles. That's actually really fucking fun. I'm not gonna lie. I dig this a lot. Level 1 special actions. Collect power. 2 special actions, big trouble, hindrance, effort, chaos. 3 actions, desperate, danger. This is a great action-based economy. Here's your Punisher, baby. Archangel. I'm guessing that's his name. With his painted Nerf guns. Or he's Taskmaster. Jesus Christ, this guy he owns everything. I'm pretty sure there's going to be our gear chapter. Yep. So now we're into weapons and gear. We're about halfway through the book here. A little over halfway. We got 100 pages left in this bitch. Right? So I'm going to click through this a little cleaner because I don't want to scroll through this many pages. Here. All right. This is going to take forever. So there's different gear scores. Again, reuse. There's a lot of reuse of art in here. A lot of reuse of art. Your different boats, what they give you, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, there's katana in here, I'm sure. That's your vehicles, your melee, your ranged, your superpowered. Oh, they have superpower weapons. That's cool. So like your energy swords, your magic things that are empowered. That's really smart. I'm glad they added that. Firearms, energy weapons, different type of them, maximum power. So you can do all the really cool weapons that shoot super beams and stuff like that. Getting a ride, what to do. And it says $3 and $4. You gotta remember, it's an arbitrary cost, just how many bags you have of money. Because remember, when you look at the character sheet, down here you have your cash. And that's how much it costs. It's just arbitrary. It doesn't matter because superhero games, money is not. No one knows how much fucking Batman has. You know what I'm saying? Just these fucking rich. Super rides, what you can get from those. Cash. Spending cash. New gadgets. Gaining gadgets, lending gadgets, losing them. That's kind of cool. The flying cape. So there's a list of like really cool gadgets that you could just give to characters or let them kind of build around them. They're really simple. Whole special arrow thing. They really nailed everything. Like really everything. Oh my God. Look at these Eternity Shards. Hi everybody. Welcome to the Eternity Shards. They are a polyhedral set of gems. I hope you like them. I hope you like them. That's what we wanted. That's kind of cool. And then I use the shards. They have their own rules. That's sweet. Chain shard, force shard, mind shard, space shard, spirit shard, time shard. Fun. Vessel allows you to wield an eternity shard without being overwhelmed. Cool. Ooh, some new art. We've seen those two. And they have tails in the back. So this is the GM section, like how to build a mission, how to build a villain, how to build a story arc, how to build a movie or a series or a TV series, how to handle your power tiers, like street, world, cosmic. And also, this is important. So like street level is like Daredevil. which is still one of my favorite series, right? And there's 3 basics of the game tailored for street level that don't need to be altered. It's fine. World level, Heroes and Protectors of the Earth. The basics of the game as extreme become critical, right? So when you play in this power tier, all sections described in section 3, basics of the game, as extreme become a critical success. And those described as critical become basic. So you're basically shifting everything 1 down. That beginning one becomes a non-roll. Basic things don't matter anymore, right? You shift it. So now 2 dice for those people become your critical successes. A pair is a critical success now. And then Cosmic, I'm assuming, is gonna, when you play Cosmic, your hero is so powerful and trained, the actions like jumping over a whole building or breaking a steel wall with their bare hands don't even require a roll of dice. At this tier, any enemy who can't rely on superpowers or their innate gifts can easily be defeated in a blink. So you're playing a really different level, right? Really crazy level, unless you're fighting another cosmic hero. So that's a pretty cool way to define this stuff. I think that's pretty smart. And then they break down the street level missions, world level missions, galactic missions, cosmic, I should say, missions, gold, the power tiers, how they work, and cinematic campaign, how you would do it. That's dope looking. He's a little bit of like a Nightwing. Crises, Endgame, Cinematic Saga, the team sheet. So this is your team sheet you get for heroes and villains, and like who your main villain is, if you're cosmic level, where you're at, how it functions, people who are on the team. I've also seen where people make multiple characters for this team. Agents of Storm, that's like their new Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. A Siren Agent, hilarious. Villains, how to face a villain, that's Ultron. And then they have strong spots for their plans to kind of teach you how to do it. The villain's weak spot, you should have something that's a weakness, 1 or 2 of them, which is important. You got to have a way to beat them. That can change. You have to find that out. I think that's true of almost all games, to really be real with you. I don't think it's just superheroes. Teams of villains, classic villains, they give you a breakdown. Heat. You get closer to the final battle, the villain stakes climb even higher. The heat rises just as quickly. Heat comes from Blades in the Dark and Apocalypse World, and you can track it as things get worse. Whenever heroes fail to reach an objective or get delayed, or when a villain gets the upper hand, heat rises, the director earns heat points, and I spend those heat points as a director to do cool shit, which I love. And then it allows you to do some fun things. Impact of heat, high tension, masks off, the secret identity of one of the heroes is suddenly revealed. Now everyone knows who they are. Loved ones are probably not safe. That's pretty cool. When heat reaches level 6, the director earns 1 heat point, which they can spend immediately to make the hero's lives more difficult. Pretty sweet. Important appointments, doomsday clocks, timeout. People like you love standing back up again and again, equipped like I can do this all day. But truth is, even heroes need a break. So you gotta have your off sessions, your beach scenes from anime. Timeout actions, research, heal, fix, recharge, shop, work. They're breaking these down into bite-sized, almost board game-esque actions that players can understand. And then they got the breakdown for how you do advancement, which is pretty cool. So it's 2 skill points. Basically, when you get an advance, you can do 2 skill points assigned freely. 1 feat of your choice, or 1 power to celebrate this milestone. Nice growth. Simple growth. Like, you could do a growth and then move on and keep playing. I might have to get a printed copy of this book. Because I have Outgunned, and I have their screen. I don't have the villains. I need to get it. But that's so well made. I think that's going to be on my docket for something to pick up. Oh, and they talk about when to advance after a crisis, before an end game. Whoops, I just hit a button. Didn't mean to do that. Where the fuck did I go? 5 forward? What did I do? What did I do? Yeah, here we go. When to advance. How much to advance? Each hero can advance 3 times, gain a total of 6 points and 3 additional feats. When you've reached your maximum potential, when a hero has advanced 3 times, is about to face a crisis or an endgame, the players can choose to reassign 2 skill points or swap out one of their feats and pick up a different one. If they choose to do either, they gain an extra power. experiences at the advancement. Man, that means you don't. That's okay. Hold on a minute. This is my problem with superhero games. I feel like advancement is the problem. If you only advance 3 times over the course of history, the advancement is a mechanical representation of how your hero's growth, their skills improving, experiences mark their potential growth, personal growth, and accomplishments in their adventures. The heart of a hero's evolution clearly doesn't lie in a handful of additional dice. It's all about the experience again. Yeah, I get that. Outgunned Superheroes is designed for short to medium length campaigns that usually span no more than 8 sessions as such. The advancement occurs pretty fast and steep. If you wish to expand your adventure, you can slow down the hero's advancement by making them work harder for growth. For the first advancement, the heroes will only gain 1 feat of their choice. For the second, they will gain 2 skill points, and so on. This will allow for 6. Okay, I would go for this, I think, if we're doing a longer arc. Because otherwise, man, you power up so fast, it wouldn't be enjoyable. Okay, I'm glad they added that. I'm going to mark this for when I'm going through my quick review, which I'm about to do. I got some other shit I get done today. I like it. That is better than I was thinking. Like, I'm glad they have something in it like that. I was afraid they don't. Is there a kick? It's Alt 3. Let me try this. There. I like quick keys. Experiences. How they work. It's gonna rain again? Jesus Christ. Does it ever stop raining in this bitch? It's been raining for weeks. I was looking at how bad it's gonna be because I gotta walk the dog. Advancement examples, scar examples, bond examples, reputation examples, around 240 of 270. Using experience like small custom-made feats can called in a gameplay by yourself. Okay, that's cool. They got some like ways to customize stuff. Oh, and then I'm not gonna go through this. This is a spoiler alert. Upcoming pages are for directors only. I'm not gonna spoil this. I'm gonna fan by this towards the back of the book because I don't want to ruin an adventure in case he wants to run it. You know what I'm saying? So you have all your characters in the back. You get all these separate as well. And they give you form fillable ones so you can just use them. Right? That's pretty cool. So you have all this. I wonder if they made a GM screen for this. Okay. And then the index is all hyperlinked? No? Bitch. Are you kidding me? That should be hyperlinked. This is my next problem. I don't like that they didn't hyperlink this thing. Let me try again. We'll see. Hold on here. Let me try clicking it this way. Nope. Needed to be hyperlinked. I disagree with that. No filmography. Okay. I know what I'm going to do for this. We're good. We're Golden Grams. We are Golden Grams. So let's get this done. We're real full. We're going to throw up the show ad. I'm going to get us music. Let me mark the time. To say the cut. Review. 226 roughly. All right, cool. All right, ready, everybody? Let me restart this. 3, 2. All right, everybody, we are here to go over Outgunned's new superhero book. This is an expansion book. It fully integrates with the regular Outgunned. If you don't have it, these wonderful A5-sized games. I adore this system. The director system is really fun. It's super easy. And look, they got smart. I'm going to tell you this out of the gate. You don't have to have this book to play the Supers. The Supers has all of this in it, but you can integrate things from this into the super game as well. I run Terminator with this. It's a lot of fun. So I love superhero games. I have a really hard time running them. I find that superhero games are the hardest genre to run long term. And I have ran Champions, Mutants and Masterminds, Icons, Vigils and Vigilantes. You name it, I've ran it at some point. And the problem comes into three things for me: character growth, scope and scale, complication. Way too complicated many of the times. And I don't need a complicated superhero game. I need something that I can run quick action-based comic book stuff. I feel like Outgunned, after doing the live show I just did, you can find a link below. I feel like they nailed it because they decided to not focus on comic book, like page and panel. They focused on cinematic. Your things like Daredevil the series, Punisher, all your Marvel movies, your DC movies. Like or hate or love or don't, the cinematic aspect is what they're focusing on because the director's system does that really, really well. So let's go over. We're going to do a quick brief. I have a full hour-long one. We went through all 270 pages, but I want to talk about some of the highlights of this and some things that I have questions on, and some are just personal, me being frustrated. Get a drink of water before we dive into this. I'll let you look at the art. The art's amazing. Repeat it a little bit, but the art is fucking amazing. I can't say anything negative about the art. There's not a bad piece of art in this entire book. There's not enough art that isn't repeated, but there is not a single bad piece of art. They put their money into it. And I think in a comic book style game, you have to have good art because it's the thing that people look at. Because things that are comic books is about art. I know, that was Godzilla. Thank you, Amir. Little gift that was given to me. So, what is this about? Well, it's a superhero game where you're playing cinematic superheroes. It's from Two Little Mice. That is the people who do Outgunned. They're tools, not rules. And I think that they really nail that. They make this about tools and not rules. And like I said, this art is fucking stellar. I love all the bandages, the pop color, like what they've done. It is really good. And they have leaned into paying homage to superhero genre without like just doing a license. They said, no, make your own. First off, the table of contents is hyperlinked. I wish some other spots were hyperlinked. The table of contents is hyperlinked all the way through. And then they also give you character sheets for a bunch of characters in the back of the book. They give you a regular printable version, and they have ones where they're totally clickable and everything else can be clicked and you can play digitally as well. I think it's 5 characters, and like all things that you get with Two Little Mice, they give you English and Italian because they're an Italian-based company, which fucking great, man. That's awesome. You don't have to pay for the 2 versions. Super cool on their half. So what is this about? Well, you build a fucking superhero. Through rolls and feats and tropes and dice rolling, you get to make the superhero you want. Now you'll notice that this PDF loads a little heavy. I think it could use an optimization pass. It's a 90 meg PDF, but it is gorgeous. And I'm using a constant scroll, which comes into problems, obviously. But they break down everything in here. This game does use special dice, but I want to point out one of the major things I enjoyed, personally. How many players do we need? Besides the director, the game is designed for a group of 3 or 4. Not 5, not 6, 3 to 4 players. Tight stories, really good. Yes, it can be played with 2 or 5 heroes without needing any changes, but I think that super group of 3 to 4 and time at the table, because this is action-based, and Outgunned moves really fast, dude. This is grease-pigged. Like, it's fast as shit. It's really good at getting action out in your face and running rampant. They just get it done. So I have a bunch of comments that I highlighted in here. We're just going to go through the comments in this. I think this is probably the best way for me to showcase this stuff. I love that they are telling you this. Now, I also love a couple other things. They talk about your super moves, your core themes, what the game is about. They talk about your real family doesn't matter, that it's your superhero one. They also tell you that Your job is to take action, not to sit around and decide if you want to take action. You're to take action and get it done. I think it might be on this page where they talk about taking action. Let's see here. Nope, it's not. The take action part was important though. Like, you got to do it in a superhero game and not him and haw. They also talk about the basics of the games. They separate the two things between these two marks. You can see here. Those marks are new, or I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And they teach you Outgunned because all the rules are in here. I thought that was a pretty stellar way to get things done. They also have a bunch of roles. We're going to scroll up before we talk about Prodigy. These are the base roles in the game. You pick your roles that you like. In those roles, you have things that you get. You get 1 point to 10 skills. You get 2 feats. You get origins, catchphrases, and flaws. And you can see when we go back over to this character sheet, you can see their enhanced body, the things they can do. You can see the feats that they have selected. And you can see between the role that they have, which is champion, and that's like their main thing that they are. And then their trope, they get to assign points through here to make their starting skills and their starting attributes. And the way this game works is you can have between 2 to 9 dice between gear and what you have. You're looking for pairs, triples, quads, full houses. Not full houses, sorry, 5 of a kind. And those allow you to do things based on a chart of like simple on 3. If you're playing this game, you combine a stat with a skill. These are the ones most commonly used together. But that doesn't mean you can't put nerves and stunt together if it makes sense for the scene to get 6 dice. All right, just a little clarity. I'm not going to break down all the rules for the system. That's how it works. There's ways to reroll, and it's like gambling, but fun gambling. If you go to do a reroll and you already have one set and you're like, I'm going to push, I'm going to roll again, let's do a reroll, I get more successes. If you don't, you lose your initial. Then there's a free reroll where there's no risk of losing your reroll. So you're constantly pushing the envelope like an action scene. And the more successes you get, you can pair them up to do stuff, or you can spend them and do multiple things at once. Just so you have an idea of how action-based the system is. Now think about superhero shit and what you're going to be able to do with that. It's kind of fucking phenomenal. Like, the system feels built for it. You know what I mean? Now, let's go through some other things I saw in here. I scrolled past the Prodigy. While they have all these original kind of pieces you can do, Prodigy is the advanced version. They even tell you it's advanced, where you're taking 2 tropes instead of taking a role in the trope and kind of building your own Prodigy for the game. They tell you it's not for the person who hasn't played before. This is for the experienced person. Look, we all have that person at our table who wants to do the most difficult thing. Amir, I'm talking to you. You always pick the most difficult thing every time. You know you do. We have those people. They're telling you this is the most difficult thing. Don't do it until you play the game. Which I think is kind of nice, right? Like, they're not fucking around. And I'm not going to go through every one of the roles, but you can see Armored. That's your Iron Man. They give you, some spicy, stylistic versions of what they are. You know who they're talking about if you know comics. They talk about the origin you could be from, possible catchphrases and flaws, and then characteristics of an Armored. Indestructible, made of steel, has a heart. Attribute points, nerve, or focus, you get a bonus to it. Those are all the skills. You get 1 skill point in, and then what your superpower is, and then you choose feats. This seems narrow, but there's ways to broaden the field and pick your own things. Think of these like quick build archetypes, and honestly, they're really sexy, and they work really well. And they go through, and each one of them has their own art, right? Your Iron Man, so on. And some of this, dude, all this art is fucking stylish. Like, it all looks good. All looks good. Every piece of art looks stellar. So there's some other things I really liked in here. I like the narrative superpower stuff they talk about. I think one of the biggest hurdles in a superhero game that runs into, especially in things like Champion and the Old Mutants and Masterminds, is making you roll for everything you do. If it's a narrative scene and you're having fun, the narrative shouldn't cost resources. You should just be able to do it. If it's a narrative scene, there's no risk involved, just let the player do it for narrative. It's the flavor of the character. Only under stress and duress should things cost or be a role really just cost you anything when resource management is important in the game with a low amount of resource. Don't do that to the player. Let them Let them have fun with their characters. It's a fucking superhero game, right? So the way these work, if you look at powers, we're just going to look at arcane. You get 2 powers instead of 1. 2 power is basically what you spend to do things. Some powers require an expenditure, and you can get more back in the game. It's a ebb and flow, usually between 1 and 6 if memory serves. Sometimes you have to make an action roll. Sometimes you don't. You pick if you have an arcane missile or an arcane weapon. And then based on your actions, some things cost an action. You still get to do stuff. Some things take a full turn for you to do it, like astral projection. And each one of these powers comes with them. They also talk about mixing and matching once you know the game, right? It's very simple. After this, one of the other big things I was looking at that I love is how they do their feats. This is just the one I picked as I think it makes the most sense for people. Probably the most relatable things like Man of Steel. Your body is made of stone or metal. Your skin and bones are as tough as, they call it duramantium. I don't know why I don't use adamantium. Maybe that's copywritten. Comment in the comments if it is. I don't know. If it is, then fuck you, Marvel. It's a fucking word. Chill. You're completely immune to damage from firearms, but not energy weapons or explosive weapons. During a shootout, a friend can use you as partial cover, so someone can stand behind you and still take shots. Super cool. I love that they did this over and over and made each one of the feats feel important. And here's one of those moments where you can see that something is a reroll. And that was the thing I talked about earlier. If I have 6 dice and I roll and I get a 1 success, I can reroll all the rest. Normally, if I don't get another success, I lose that first one. With the free reroll, that doesn't matter. You're fishing for more successes. I think that's great to make something like detective feel great. You look around, you're looking for clues, you're doing your Batman. You go, there has to be more. I'm going to fucking use my free reroll because I have the feat detective. Each feat, because of that reroll, really makes you feel like you're good at what you do. That is so fucking important in a superhero game. Just want to say, stellar success on that. Next up, the other thing I was looking at is this, success rates. GMs need this for a game where there's multiple tables for how successes work. If you don't understand that, there's an image, maybe I'll see if I can find it here, but there's images where it shows you the 2, the 3, the 4 of a kind, the 5 of a kind, and what they do. This is telling you that. So they're talking about success rates. We scroll up here, you can see basic, critical, extreme, impossible, and jackpot. You can use regular D6s. These are just icons they use to also denote important things in the book, but not important to the dice rolls, honestly. You're just looking for matching pairs, trips, and whatnot. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of a kind. These are also important when we get into your levels of play, from street to cosmic. There's 3 modes, because it shifts when you do world scale. It shifts critical to basic, extreme to critical, and that means that your normal successes, a critical becomes a basic. You only need 2 of a kind, which is cool. That means you're a world-class hero. You're just that much better than a street level. I would recommend starting at street level if you're playing the game, but what do I know? I've just been GMing for 30 years. I'm just telling you to try it before you buy it. You know what I mean? Really cool, though. And the reason I scrolled up from here is this table gives you an idea of your percentages of success based on how many dice you're rolling, critical, extreme, and impossibles, with a roll, with a re-roll, right? And how likely you are to get these things. So the GM has a good idea of the success rate of what your players are going to get. They also talk about 3 equals 1, 1 equals 3. 3 smaller successes is worth 1 success above. 1 success above is worth 3 below. So that lets a player do some cool stuff, because let's say I want to kick a door open, run in, I'm being chased in a street level with a bunch of gang members. I run in, I use 2 dice, kick a success to kick a door open, turn around, fire, and then kick the door shut. Or turn around, shut the door, and castle it with an object. And I use 3 different things to do it. That would mean I'd need 3 pairs. Or if I just got 1 higher level success, I could split that up and do what we needed. I just want you to understand how that works. Really clean, really nice. Again, phenomenal fucking artwork for this whole thing, right? They talk about rerolls and why you should do it. Super fun. Need. Need is cool. So I'm going to scroll up a little bit. In this chapter, they're talking about assemble. Assembling is what you do when your group gets together to get something done. And with that assembly, you can have extra things you need to do. There's a need you need to meet and a teamwork. And your teamwork counts as successes towards. So I'm going to paint a scene that they didn't paint. I think this probably makes the most sense. Let's say a building is collapsing. Some monster ran through the bottom of the building, or some supervillain blew it up and it's toppling. And I said, stop this building for toppling, and the whole thing falling apart. You're gonna need it's a need of 12. And there are gonna be also 3 sections in here, these boxes that are circled. Powers must be used for those. And that is saving the people in the building, finding a way to hold the structure together while you're doing it, and then maybe having it collapse safely without destroying everything around. Right? So 3 of those 12 are going to be powers that you have to do. So get your thinking caps on. That's the need. Teamwork starts usually at 1. There's some things that can raise it. Every success the players get, critical success, bumps it 1. There are things like failing that bump it down. So your teamwork could be, all right, fine. I'm going to use my telekinesis to hold the building upright. I know that's going to be difficult to do. What do I need? The GM's like, you need a critical success to do that, to keep it up for this round. So you're using it, fulfilling one of the powers, holding that up. Meanwhile, the speedster goes, okay, while it's up, I don't weigh that much when I'm running around. I'm going to run through here and start zipping people out of here. I'm going to spend a power to do it quickly to move groups, but I can only carry 2 people at a time. Then your shaper goes, I'm elastic. I'm going to turn myself into a big netted bag or something that he could put the people in and run through the building. So now you got 3 powers being used, fulfilling the power thing. Now it's skills of getting everybody out. That teamwork die at the end of the scenes, each scene you go, it's action, reaction, action, reaction. If they go up to a 3 by the end of that, that means that they fill 3 need. And if you go into the next scene, you roll again. And the goal is to keep growing this till you hit the 6 to make it quicker and quicker to get it done. They even have a house rule in here. I shouldn't say a house rule. A rule that if they're at 6, and let's say your need total is 11, the GM can hand wave that scene because your party's doing so well if they get their teamwork to a 6 out of the gate. It's a great way. They compare it to the chase mechanic from Outgunned, and I think it's a really good representation of that. And I think it fulfills that superhero assemble fantasy because you can do the same thing when you're fighting big bosses. And look at X-Men when they're fighting any of the fucking huge Sentinels. I think this is a really good version of that. And that's the assemble version. There's also team up like the fastball special, things like that, where you can help and get bonuses to dice roll. I just wanted to point it out because I think it's a key part of the game, and they found a way to make it clean and simple and narrative, but still impactful, and not taking my goddamn time looking up fucking rules. Okay? I'm looking at you, champions. I am. Looking at you. So going through that, we have the next piece. And like I said, I've just been highlighting stuff. There's advancement in the game. I think advancement is the hardest hurdle, and telling a story is the hardest hurdle. And I think that this does a pretty good job at it. They tell you that this is made for 6 to 8, medium length play. Basically, after a crisis or before endgame, they can advance. Advance, you can only do 3 times. When you advance, you get 6 skill points and 3 additional feats as you advance. It's a quick advancement, right? There are some things where you can swap out stuff once you hit that advancement to swap out for different feats, go back and forth. You're trained, you're going into a new scene, but they did give you slow advancement, which you slow down the progression. Top Cow, I think that some of the old Image comics, I think some of the street level stuff that you see is that slower advancement. And if you want to do a long play, this is perfect for it. Like if you're experienced hero players, you play a lot of superhero games, slow advancement might be what you're looking for, or you just advance them less frequently because there's so much stuff you can do with your powers. I feel like, in my opinion, that this is a good answer, but we'll see. We won't know until, we put some time in and play the fucking game, right? Right. After this, there is a ton of new monsters, new villains, things like that. But the other thing I marked is the analytical index. I wish this was hyperlinked. It's one of my little pet peeves. but they do give you a bunch of filmography to go look at and things along those lines. Is there anything else that I really want to show? Let's go back to the table of contents. Before I close this out and kind of give my final review, there is some other things that I want to show. First, I want to show this for people to understand how you can do all of your stuff in this game and make it work. This is their art for their difficulty. They did this in Outgunned, the core Outgunned, and they've done it for the superhero one as well. And this is showing your levels of success. I think this is a great way to show it. I think that this is something in my notes that I drew out. You should do the same if you don't have the GM screen at home. I thought that was great. What else did I really enjoy in here? All of the fucking art is phenomenal in here. Every time you run into it. But if I scroll through here, you can see there's a lot of repeat art. It's fine. The art's gorgeous. I just would have liked to see more poses for these new heroes that we're meeting. But they're still really well done. There's a lot of options in here. They teach you how to run the game. They teach you how to do everything. I'm going to show you, I think, my personal favorite out of this. This is some of the coolest teleportation magic I've seen, and how it's phasing her out. Like, just, they get it. They get what we're here for. They get what a sorceress is to superhero fans. This is the person who can shapeshift. Amazing. They understand. They're Batman. It's like, I think of Foxbat and like some form of like Nighthawk. Love it. Love it. They get all this stuff, and I think they get their audience. And I think the rules paint exactly the cinematic thing that you were looking for. So look, is this right for you? If you love superheroes, if you want to play a superhero game, if you want it to feel actiony, if you want dice mechanics that you can teach somebody in 5 fucking minutes, I think it's great. I know that every time I run these at conventions, it is usually one of the most fun endeavors in games that we have at a con. I think the idea of being able to make a superhero in 20 minutes as a group and just baseline pick some things you think are cool and run it, or play the pre-gens they have that are form fillable or not. You know how I am about form fill. This is a steal. I have links down below for the affiliate link. I picked this up through things that, you know, my affiliate money that I get through DriveThruRPG, because I wanted to review it. But I love Two Little Mice. They don't fuck around. They only make good product. It is always gorgeous. It's always well explained. It's always well laid out. I feel like I can run a superhero game. And like I said, this is the hardest genre for me to run. At least long term. Short term, I have a place called Volt City. Super easy to do. Long term, I like to see growth, and I think this might let me do it. So I hope you guys take a look at this. I think if you're a superhero fan, I think this is a top 3 contender for me. I think this, the old Marvel Heroic, I like Icons, but I think the new 616 is really good for Matt Forbeck and the team. That's like my big 3. If you want to play Marvel, I think that's really good. Icons is just more of like a weird style one, but this really nails the feel. Just outside of that for me as the Cypher System one, it's just a little crunchier. You have to really know Cypher System to make your characters efficiently, but it's a great system, and it's not as crunchy as Champions. So that's it for me. If you're here live, stick around. We'll talk for a few more minutes. If you're watching this afterwards, look, we got some things we got to talk about. Got a few things. I'm going to be off next week whenever you're seeing this, but I do need to say thank you to all my people on Patreon, and I need to say thank you to the ones that are watching this right now. I have a couple of special things for you. So everybody, you know the routine. These people here support me through Patreon. That's how I do a lot of the stuff that I do. You've heard the speech from everyone in the sun, but look, it's a direct me to you contact. You can comment in there. I will respond. You guys are very silent in Patreon. Talk more. Just like the people who are watching this now, comment down below. You played a superhero game that you love? Would you like me to run a superhero show? I know some people would. But these people make it possible, and if you want to see the stuff that I do, like Breachers and Shadowdark, or Athantia and the Dragonbane engine, or you want to see Warpaint for Cypher System, or Magic and Monsters for Daggerheart. Patreon is where you can get access to all those living documents. Whenever I put a PDF out, you get a free copy if you're at the $5 and more support level. I'm building a new website. We got new merch. This is one of the new ones coming out. This is the Athantia Season 6, Season of the Cult. This woman is Allie's fault, if you don't know. Tank tops, shirts, a mug, and hoodie will be coming out here in the next couple of weeks as soon as I have the website rebuilt. Thank you so much for watching. Click subscribe, put the bell on, share the fucking content with your friends, and comment down below so I can talk to you. Unless you're that weirdo that came in today and was talking about getting his face sat on by a rocky person in juice. Don't be that guy. Or that girl. Or that person. I don't know if I can call him a person. It was weird. Until then, everybody, stick around, have fun, watch stuff on the channel, and I'll see you guys in a week when I come back with a lovely Season of the Cult and more Corpse Talk Live. Live people, stick around. Bats, get me out of here. So, Outgunned is fucking dope, everybody. I mean, my thoughts on this is a really, really good system. I feel like Outgunned nails everything I want a superhero game to be. I want the action. I love that it's about cinematic play. I love how easy the system is. I like how quick you can make a character. It's super fun. And I think it could be really easy to combine and make. And then also inside of this and some of the other books that come out for Outgunned, that are out for Outgunned, I think you could combine some of the fun little things in here. Like, for example, let me go to, like, the Nobody has things like Lie to Me and different feats that maybe some of these feats would be great. Like if you want to be a spy superhero, right? Some of these feats that are in here that aren't in the other book might be really suited to what you want to do. Like what page is it? Also, look at this gorgeous cover. Like inside of it, I love this. So what is there for feats? Let me find it. Page 48. I just want to like look at some of the ones I think would be good for superhero games. Like the artist could be good if you're a painter, but you're also like a magician. Artist, popular or misunderstood. You're still an artist. The world is your stage. Choose an art form: dancing, singing, painting, etc. Gain a free reroll for all roles regarding your chosen art form. Like think about Green Lantern, but also having artist. That would be awesome. There's some really, really fun things I think between the two books would nail it. Yeah, hey, what's up, Todd? Watch at 2 times speed to catch up live. Of course, it's almost over. Yeah. I started at 3:30. I do every Wednesday. Well, except for the first week of the month. Outgunned Superheroes looks amazing. Thanks, dude. I really like it. I would run Superhero. I would run Volt City again. I have my Volt City book over there. I like Volt City. I would probably run it. Volt City, for those who never played it, is like my Batman Beyond, like that sci-fi superhero. But I can run regular ones as well. But it's really good. Really good. So I'm excited about the new merch, getting everything together. Trying to get anything that I can make that's a superhero game. I think it could be fun. I don't run a lot of superheroes. Todd and I have played some superhero games over the years. Bleak and Chat. We played We've played Champions twice. Played a lot of Mutants and Masterminds back in the day. I know Mutant Masterminds has a new one coming out. We played Icons. I think we played Vigils and Vigilantes once. I like Marvel Heroic a lot. 616 I've played. I know that 88 Riddles back in the day, who did Watching Paint Dry with me, was a big fan of 616. And I played it and it's actually really fucking good. But there's something about this, man. Oh, and I have played the Cypher System one. I really like the Cypher System one. The team over at MCG did a really good job. It's just a little crunchier. It takes a little bit more to play it. But this system is just in your face and done. Just the idea that it's just pairs, trips, doubles, triples, quads, and then getting 5 of a kind or 6 of a kind is even better. And then you can stage it up and down, and you can take your actions doing that. I love that. And I like how they handled their like 3 different levels. Dude, or Todd, hear me out. Or is that person not a hologram? Are they plastic and they're making themselves a toy soldier or toy robot? Because they talked about having like a plastic skin and shit. It's like all of that stuff is doable. It's super fun. I played in a Batman Beyond style game and as a mastermind. Yeah, I mean, Volt City. Hold on. Where is Volt City? Has its own piece. Is she back here? Yeah, here it is.
Watching horror movies.
You guys can't see this, but I have like an old barrister bookcase back here. This is the old, if I don't throw it. This is the old Volt City. Right? Lots of stuff. This is a fun, is this moleskin? Yeah, this is a moleskin. It had really thin paper. Right? So yeah, I would run Volt City again. Lots of art and notes in here. We did icons with this game system too, or this setting too. I almost always make my own setting because I like the players to, their actions to formulate and make it. And I like that this wasn't telling you, this is the setting, here's what you're playing. I like that. I don't like when I get told I have to play in this setting for this game. That was my biggest problem with Marvel. Like, they took away all of your ability to do what the fuck you wanted. Like, they took it all away. But like, there's some cool shit in here. Like, hold on here. Let me go to the work screen again. So like, this is their Iron Man, right? This is their Iron Man. You gonna go over to it or what? Oh, you're just not gonna work now? Hold on here. There we go. So you got Hypertech armor, when worn, set your bronze score to 3. So you don't have to put points into it, right? So you just get 3. Allows you to ignore penalties when hurt condition. Fly and breathe underwater and in space. Takes a full turn to wear. Recall, quick action. You could call to you and immediately make an attack. Recall and wear your suit of armor. Personal AI allows you to track and get a lock on nearby. Grants help to quickly find an escape route. So that's pretty cool. Your personal AI is like, yo, I can lock onto an enemy. I can tell you how to do this and give you help. Unlimited funds once per session. You gain access to exclusive services, reserve a whole hotel, buy a restaurant, so you can skip a line. Really fun. PhD in robotics, gain a free reroll for all your rolls regarding your chosen degree. So they did that. And then they're like, what are your abilities? Here's your gadgets. Energy beam armor, ranged weapon, ignores cover and indestructible enemy feet. Sword, armor, weapon, melee weapon, grants help to cutting things, which gives you +1. Rocket launcher, armor, ranged weapon, shoots with +1. 3 rockets, radio and gear, a whole bunch of money, and then you can get like different rides. So like, that's just him, right? That's just his character. So like, let's close this. If we look at hers, zoom in again, because it's just easier to read it. So you can see that she's got champion, super soldier, experiment, I need to save everyone. You always have a choice. And then they have enhanced body, free reroll is on bronze, so you're just strong, you get it done. I can do this all day, once per scene, gain 1 power after losing more than 3 grit. So if you take a fucking hard hit, you can be like, I can do this all day. And you don't need to spend the power to use this special action. Fucking dope. Train fighter shield, gain a free reroll action and reaction rolls when fighting with a shield, because you're a shield fighter. Team lead, gain a free reroll to inspire or coordinate others, and to other rolls made to remove the like a fool and defeat conditions, because you're a team leader. You can't be made to make a fool. Jump, make extremely long jumps and never lose grit when falling from any height. You just fucking take the drop, you superhero land. Leap attack, jump onto a distant or flying enemy. You get a +1 on free rolls on this attack. And then for their abilities, they have less gear. They have the shield, it's an indestructible melee weapon, bounces back and throw. Period. And you can see all the stuff that they have. It's, I don't know, man. I feel like they really nailed it. They really, really nailed it. Like, do they have... I kind of want to see what the team sheet is. We haven't looked at this. Gotta close out the show. Oh, this is cool. So you got your mission. What's the shot? Oh, the shot. The one shot, two shot, like what you're doing. Cosmic level, world level, street level. If you have any rides in a part of your organization, the main villain. And then this is your heat clock that the GM gets to do stuff with. Base, storage, and contacts. These guys nailed this. Like, it's everything I want in a superhero game. Always more fun to develop a setting as you play than have to conform to decades of established lore. Yeah, I think so too. Unless you all know the lore. Like, if everyone can opt in, that's fine. But when canon gets in the way, that's when it becomes a problem. But that's it for me. It's almost 7. I'm going to go walk the dog, chill for a little bit. I got a lot I got to do over the next week. I got to get a website up. I got a whole bunch of shit to do. I won't be around tomorrow there, but I will be in Discord. I'm probably going to be in Discord working on the website tomorrow for a little while before I have to go take care of some stuff in the afternoon. Have a recording at 5. Some more stuff for the Kickstarter. Pretty cool to see. But yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. I hope you liked this. I thought this was a great product. I really do. But as for anything else, I will be posting up some other things. We're going to get our next couple Shadow Dark Living games up. And then I'm trying to get everything built out so we can go back to playing some Living Athantia. The problem is I got to remake all the cards because that's a card-based game versus Breachers, which is just you get a gate card and come in and play. But we'll be doing more of that coming up as well. I think that's it for me. I got a busy weekend. Lots to do. Hope you guys have fun. I'll be in chat over in Discord later on this evening. And then other than that, I'll talk to you guys all later. Stay fucking rotten.